need a beep button.
There it is. There it is. We are, in fact, live on the interwebs. Okay, I had a new window pop up. This is weird. And I kind of don't want to X out of it because then I would be afraid of everything falling apart again. So, okay. So, hey, Bob.
Hello.
I said, hey, Bob. You can hear me, right?
Yeah, but I'm showing that it froze, so.
Yeah, so am I. Let's see what we got going on here.
It says audio is good, though, so.
I don't know why the picture just froze. I don't know what that's all about. I'm going to refresh on mine. The internet is such a beautiful thing. I'm starting to wonder if there is just a conspiracy against me streaming. I really feel like that could be a thing. Like, YouTube just doesn't want it. They don't want me streaming.
So the reports are that we're not frozen, but me and you are in fact both frozen, which is odd.
Yeah, that makes no sense. I'm going to refresh here. Okay. Well, yeah, okay. Welcome, everyone. I'm hoping that we're not frozen, but it's showing that I'm frozen. We are both
I refreshed
frozen here.
and we're not frozen, so let's go.
All right. Well, mine, for whatever reason, won't refresh, which is strange. But anyway.
Apple. Apple.
Yeah, that must be what it is. I'm sure that's what it is. So let me just make sure here. Yeah, say it's everything they're saying. It's working on my end. Okay. Well, I guess we'll go ahead with it then here, folks. So the one thing that I would like to check on is to make sure that my audio and Bob's audio are similar, because I did notice last week there was a humongous difference between my audio and Jason's. Jason was extremely loud. That was not Jason's fault. It was my fault. And I did do some adjustments on this before we started to make sure that that everything is good. So, okay, they're saying good audio, and Bob, you're not even talking, so how would they even know? But
I'm not going to interrupt you. I don't want you to yell at me like you yell at Lisa.
You know, there were several people that commented on that stream on the replay, like how mean I was to her. Was I mean to her in that stream? You were watching it. I don't think I was mean to her. Was I?
No, I think it's all in good fun. I don't think it's mean, and I don't think the interrupting is mean. Like it wasn't done like purposely or anything.
The way her and I are in everyday life is exactly the way we are here on this stream. I mean, and we keep it a little G-rated. You got a little taste of that earlier, but before the stream, because anyway, but I don't recall me doing anything that was like outrageously mean to her. Look at her. She's chatting. You hurt my feelings so bad. But I don't know what I did to hurt your feelings. You know I wouldn't hurt your feelings. She's sitting in the next room. I don't even know why she's not in here.
Now, are her feelings hurt because you interrupted her, or what you said before the stream? I'm confused.
I think she's probably talking about during the stream on Thursday. She's trying to mess with me because of what the people were saying, what the people be saying. But yeah, there was one person that even commented, and maybe they're watching now. Lisa, I don't even know how you stay with that man. And I was like, what?
Well, I think we all have that question, though.
Well, okay, sure. I mean, I did get lucky there, but I don't understand. I don't know. I mean, I try. I really do try. It's very difficult in today's world to be positive and be happy and all of this, especially when you're sitting here on a live stream trying to pull up a chat on your iPad and it just won't happen. But
I gotta disagree. I think in today's world it's very easy to be happy. I think we're very lucky to be alive in this period of I don't know, what do you want to call it? The existence of humanity. I mean, we could be, what if we were here 300 years ago? You know, it's a great time to be alive. That's all I'm trying to say.
It definitely is, and I love the fact that I'm able to, at 8:00 at night on a Saturday. I'm not a drinker. I'm not a go out and party guy. I'm 45. I have a grandchild. When am I going to do that? It's amazing to me that I can sit out here on my computer with a microphone and talk to a guy that is in Seattle or near Seattle, and broadcast it to the world, literally the world, that still blows my mind. It's something that I'm amazed by, because like you, because you're not that much younger than me, we can remember when this wasn't a thing. I mean, 5 years ago, live streaming wasn't like this. I mean, so this has come a huge way. But I mean, I remember a Saturday night being like, what am I going to do? Now I'm going to chat with a guy in Seattle. And I don't know. I think that's really cool. But
yeah, I just think it's all about perspective. And I think some people they don't really put things in perspective. I mean, I see, not that this has anything to do with fish or anything, like when I see people complain, I don't know what they're complaining about. Like I could literally go on Amazon and order something and it'll be here. I don't even have to get up. Sometimes it's here the same day. Sometimes it's here the next day. I don't know. I don't know what people could possibly complain about.
I'm doing reviews. I don't know if you saw my video on Tuesday. I'm doing reviews of small hang-on back filters right now. And I had a total brain fart with the CChem title. Jason was telling me about it, and I was like, I don't even know what he's talking about. CChem, I don't remember a CChem. Anyway, long story short, this morning I ordered one off of Amazon so that I can include that in with the reviews, and it'll be here tomorrow. I mean, that is like, do you remember like ordering things out of the back of magazines, and you had to like fill out a form and send it, and you would just be waiting for 6 weeks for whatever
4
it
to
was
6
that you ordered?
weeks, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was the kid that I would always steal like the Soldier of Fortune magazine from my aunts and uncles or whoever had one. I would just steal, and I would always look at the back at all the cool tactical stuff and all the little knives, and I would always like send away for some ridiculous stuff, and like, oh boy, it's been 8 weeks. It should be here any day. Running
Yep.
home, checking the mail.
Now, see, for me, now it might have been a little before your time because I am a few years younger than you, older than you, not that many, but the G.I. Joe figures, when the G.I. Joe television show was a really big thing, and they sold the figures, and if you collected a certain amount of the figures, you could send the proofs of purchase for all of those off, and you could get a special figure. And I remember one year it was Sergeant Slaughter, and it took like 3 months for it to show up. Whereas now, these microphones, I ordered them last week. On a Friday, I got them on Saturday. I mean, it still blows my mind. We sound like a couple of old geezers here. Next thing we're going to do is start talking about walking to school in the snow and all of that. But
we are old geezers. I never did that because I didn't go to school. School's for chumps.
Yeah.
You can learn everything for free on the internet. Come on.
You know what? We are not that far from schools no longer being a thing. I know that sounds crazy, but think about how many people are already homeschooling. And then now, with the online stuff and all of that, we're probably 20 years away from people just never leaving their houses. Not for work, not for it. You'll be able to go to the doctor online. You'll be able to do anything online. I think we're probably 20 years away from that.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I mean, like you go to MIT and pay hundreds of thousands a year in tuition, or you can take all their classes for free online. All their classes are free for anyone online. The only thing you don't get is a little piece of paper at the end of the 4 years. That's
Right.
it.
Yep.
Like, is that really worth hundreds of thousands of dollars? No, not to me.
I mean, it's a crazy world. It's a crazy world we live in. I'm going to tell you how crazy this world is. I'm a guy that's just a normal schmuck here in King George, Virginia. I know you like to agree with that. I went to Walmart right before we went live here because I realized at 10 minutes after 7 that I was out of sleeping pills. So I get in my van. We live 2 miles from a Walmart. I run over to Walmart real quick, get my stuff, go up to the checkout line. And the girl in checkout, she says, "Are you a YouTuber?" And I said, "Yes, ma'am, I am." And she's, "Oh, you're KG," she said, like KG Tanks or something like that. I was like, "Well, it's KG Tropicals, but yeah, that's me." And then of course she wants to ask me a bunch of questions, and I'm like looking at my watch that I'm not even wearing, like, "Oh, I'm gonna be live. I got a big time guest on tonight. I gotta go home and be on live." So yeah, that's the world we live in, where a normal schmuck like me can go to a Walmart and be recognized. It's weird. Has that kind of thing happened to you?
I've never been recognized outside of anything fish related. Like I've gone into a fish store and I've gotten like the double take a couple times, and then they kind of stare at you, and is it, they're you can see it in their eyes, like, is that him? Is it not him? I don't know. But as far as like going to like a Home Depot or anywhere else, I've never been recognized, and honestly, that's the way I like it.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I mean, it's not like it's something that, like you said, outside of a fish event, it's very rare. But for you, see, you have an advantage because no one that I know and no one on YouTube that I know has seen you without a hat on. So you could just take your hat off and go, and nobody would even know who you are. Like, I don't know
It
that
is.
guy.
It's like Clark Kent and Superman. I'm not even gonna lie. So, like, yeah, it is that way. I mean, people like YouTubers that are near me know what I look like without a hat on, like Jimmy and Corey. But yeah, otherwise, and that all started on one of my early live streams because I did like 3 or 4 live streams in a row wearing a hat, and people were like, started busting my balls about wearing a hat all the time, and I'm like, well, screw you. I'm gonna wear a hat every time out of spite now. And so now I've been doing that for 4 years. I just out of spite.
That's funny. I missed a couple of super chats here real quick. Nick Tenick calls us legends. Yeah.
Must
with
have been
the
talking about
$2.
you and Lisa.
What's that?
I think he was talking about you and Lisa.
Yeah, probably. And that's $2 Australian, I believe. The A is what that is for. Fish Tank Bard comes in, and he doesn't say anything about ice cream. $5 super chat says, I remember saving all the tabs for the Emperor from Star Wars. Yes, I remember that too. I did that one too. The Star Wars figures and the G.I. Joe figures were definitely... You save those proofs of purchase and you send them off and you get the free guy in the mail. Yeah, that was awesome. It was months and months before I got Sergeant Slaughter. In fact, I didn't even care once I got him. I was like, oh, well, I'm kind of over that now. But yeah, that was a long, long time ago. So
My thing was He-Man. I had some GI Joes, but I was all about the He-Man.
He-Man
Master of the Universe.
Amazing. Loved He-Man. Manny Faces was my guy. I loved Manny Faces. What was it? Man at Arms was another one that I liked a lot. It's a shame they've never done a good He-Man movie.
What about the one with Dolph Lundgren? So here's a fun fact. The He-Man movie with Dolph Lundgren was the very first movie I ever saw in a theater.
Oh, how about that?
Yeah, some weird trivia, but and then the second movie I ever saw in the theater was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Nice. First movie for me was 2000. No, it wasn't. I was about to say 2001: A Space Odyssey because I think that came out before I was born. Chariots of Fire. That was the first movie I saw, and the first. This is a good one. Shows you my memory. The first movie I ever watched on VHS at my parents' house was the movie The Toy with Richard Pryor, which I have actually used a clip of in one of our 10 Things videos talking about piranhas. So, yeah, I remember that like it was yesterday, going to Errol's and getting The Toy on VHS and bringing it home and watching it. Those were amazing, amazing times to be able to get a real movie and watch it at home and pause it to go to the bathroom and stuff. Whew, that was amazing.
Yeah, I remember like it was a big weekend at my house when we rented a VCR from Blockbuster. It was like that was a good weekend back in the day.
So you rented the whole thing, the VCR and everything.
Yeah, we couldn't afford a VCR, so we'd rent one like once a month.
Wow.
And then rent the VCR and the movies.
Well, see, I didn't even have cable television until I was like 17, and it's not because my parents were poor, because they weren't, but we lived in the country and cable wasn't even out there, so there was nothing. So once it was available, my parents got it, and it was the most incredible thing ever, but it took 17 years of my life to be able to get it. So I remember how big of a deal that was, because I would go to my friend's house and they would have cable, and I would be so jealous because, like, oh my God, you can watch Michael Jackson Thriller in your house? Like, this is amazing. And Couldn't
Back
do it.
when MTV actually had music videos.
Yeah, and that video played every 45 minutes, and it was a 15-minute long video. So on the 45s, every hour, that video played. 1985, I believe it was, and I remember it scaring the you-know-what out of me the first time I saw it. I was 11, I think. 11 years old when that came out. That video scared me. And I'm not afraid to admit it, because that was an amazing music video, the best music video that's ever been made. And apparently, fun fact, that album was recorded using these same microphones. That's the legend behind these microphones.
Wow, is it autographed too?
No, not this one, dummy. This type of microphone. The Shure SM7Bs is apparently the microphone that was used by Michael Jackson to record Thriller. I watched several videos the other day. I will give you credit if you can tell me whose studio this was. I watched multiple videos the other day of tours of Paisley Park, and I didn't see any Shure SM7Bs, so I don't think he was using them. You know whose studio that was and home that was?
No idea.
Come on, man. It was Prince. Come on.
The greatest guitarist in the history of guitars.
Oh yeah? Okay.
That's my opinion.
I was a Prince fan, for sure. I don't know what it was. It was one of those wormhole things, falling down the rabbit hole, not wormhole. I ended up watching like multiple videos about Paisley Park, which was Prince's home that he passed away in, which is unfortunate. Ty Smith came in with the $5 super chat, says, "Lucky, I live down in Lunenburg." I hope I'm saying that right. My eyes are getting old. I can't see it very well. Lunenburg County. It takes me 40 to get to Walmart. 2 hours to a something, but I can't get this to scroll for some reason.
Pet store.
PetSmart? Oh, wow.
Pet store.
Pet store. See, that's the thing. The Walmart is 2 miles from us. I got to go through 2 traffic lights to get to it. And the Petco is right next door. Got it made. It's very cool. So
I got 3 Walmarts in a 5-mile radius.
Wow.
It's ridiculous.
You live in the city. That's like city living.
And I'm not even in the city. That's what's crazy.
Wow. James Wells lives in Martinsville, Virginia. I've been there for a race long, long ago, and it was wonderful. It was so much fun. That was back when I was able to watch NASCAR. Can't watch it anymore. I'm not allowed. Hi, John.
Boring?
Today is my birthday party. Couldn't tune in till now. What are we talking about? Well, you didn't get in too late. We've only been going about 20 minutes, and we're not talking about really anything. We're just seeing where this conversation goes. Not a second has been about fish yet, so hopefully that's not too disappointing for people. So I have something I want to talk to you about. It's very important. I did not pre-qualify this before I bring it up to you, but I think you're going to be open to this. Before I do that, though, I do need to wish my big brother, Paul Martin, a happy birthday. I happened to be clearing my notifications on Facebook earlier and saw that it was his birthday today. So he's, I think, 42 today. So very, very...
You actually clear your notifications?
Well, I don't like the little red dot. The little red dots on my home screen really bother me.
I gave up. I just leave it. I feel bad because I ignore a lot of people, but I hate Facebook, so I don't care.
I can't do it. I just can't have those little red dots. Even when they're from like games, I can't do it. Please, Prince, greatest guitarist. I must be living in a different universe. Have you ever heard Hendrix? Oh, there's about 55 guitar players I could say haven't you ever heard of before Hendrix, but that's just my opinion. Everybody wants to label Jimi Hendrix as the best guitarist that's ever lived. No, there's plenty that were way, way better than him and still are to this day. Anyway, now that I've lost half of my subscribers, I want to ask you about this little website that I went on the other day, SteenfottAquatics.com. It's apparently a new site, and I wanted to know if you knew anything about it.
A little bit. What's your what do you want to know? It's not new. It's been around forever. It was established in 2017.
Okay. Well, that was basically my way of saying house business, Bob. But I was trying to be creative in asking you about it that way. But you just
Well, I don't want to just sit here and promote my own crap. So
Go right ahead.
it's all right. Last week was the best week I've ever had. They just keep getting better, and probably the worst time of year to start a business shipping fish. But you know, I guess it's better than never doing it.
Everybody's talking about the guitar now.
I know. I'm not saying that Hendrix wasn't good. He was
No.
good. He changed, a lot, but he's not even close to the best. I'm sorry.
There is definitely. I am a Jimi Hendrix fan. I would not call me like a uber fan of his. He is a very, very talented guitar player. The fact that he's dead, the fact that he played left-handed and played the guitar upside down and all of this, it creates this, aura about him. Jimi Hendrix was a great guitar player, but all I need to say is Joe Satriani, Steve Vai, Yngwie Malmsteen, all three of those guys in one finger have the talent that Jimi Hendrix had in his whole life. So, done. Nothing more needs to be said. I could say Eddie Van Halen. There's so many guitar players that I could say that I believe are better than Jimi Hendrix was. Jimi Hendrix was great, but music is subjective. So, we all have our own opinions about it, and it doesn't mean I'm right or anybody else is wrong. But I do think that the death, it's like, look, you live in Seattle, so hopefully this isn't too offensive to you. I think Kurt Cobain was one of the biggest scumbags on the planet. And he's looked at as this saint now because he died. And
Yeah, well, that's however, like you take all these big douchebags, and as soon as they die, now all of a sudden they're heroes.
That's right.
Happens all the time.
Janis Joplin is talked about as one of the best rock and roll musicians ever. Are you kidding me? She had one good song, and it wasn't even a good song. She was a terrible singer. It blows my mind. But that's what happens when they die. And, there are a few, Prince, Elvis, Michael Jackson, John Lennon, when they pass away, they are legends and they deserve the accolades that they get. But Shannon Hoon, Kurt Cobain, come on. They're not these legends that people make them out to be just because they're dead. I don't think if Jimi Hendrix was still alive to this day, he would be looked at as the best guitar player ever. I think he'd be looked at as a very good guitar player. I don't think the people would be saying, oh my God, he's the best, he's the best, he's the best. Now see, Lisa brings up Tom Petty, and that's a great point. Nobody's talking about Tom Petty as one of the greatest musicians to ever live. The guy was in the business for 60 years. And he's not talked about like those other jokers that died when they were 27 are.
Well, I will disagree with you about Kurt Cobain. I don't think he's like the greatest thing since sliced bread, but I don't think that he's like some joker, non-talented musician.
I didn't say he wasn't talented. I said he was a scumbag.
I think there's a lot in his lyrics that are pretty genius.
Yeah.
But yes, Tom Petty is pretty sweet too. I listen to Tom Petty all the time.
I didn't say Kurt Cobain was not talented. How dare you put words in my mouth? I said he was a scumbag, and I stand by that. I think he was.
I think his wife is a scumbag.
Oh, she's a total scumbag, and she makes me sick. And I think she had something to do with his death. But anyway, here we go, spreading rumors online. Yeah.
Don't talk about conspiracies, you'll get demonetized.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Just saying, it's not allowed on YouTube anymore.
I mean, this is a live stream. I don't care if it's not monetized. But yeah, I mean, I don't want to make anybody mad. But I know there's a lot of people that loved Kurt Cobain. But I remember watching the television when the ambulances were pulling his corpse out of his house. One of the worst words ever created, corpse. What a horrible word. But I remember that. And what does this have to do with fish? Here they come, Bob. And I remember thinking, when that happened, well, here we go. Now, all of a sudden, Kurt Cobain is going to be looked at as this god of music. And sure enough, he was. And, whatever. I definitely think that he is very much responsible for the rise of grunge music. I was a fan of grunge music. I don't have anything against it at all. But anyway, what are you going to do? I don't know what I'm trying to
I think
talk
what
about
people
here.
need to understand is we are on YouTube. We make videos about fish nonstop, but we're still just people, and we like to talk about things that are not fish related with other fish YouTubers because we're buddies and we just like to talk. So whether we're talking about fish or music, it doesn't really matter. If you're not entertained, just leave. I shouldn't be saying this on your channel. I'm ranting.
Well,
But
no,
yeah, as far as the comments of people, oh, is this fish related? Or I thought this was a fish stream or something. We're just talking, hanging out.
it's very true, and I'm not going to scold you for saying that because you're absolutely right. This stream is called "We Need to Talk with Bob Steenfott" from Steenfott Aquatics. It's not called "We Need to Talk About Live Bears" with Bob Steenfott. It's not called "We Need to Talk About Glass Boxes Full of Water." We're going to talk about fish. I tried asking him about his business and he wanted to blow it off. He doesn't want to.
I'm not here to promote. Plus, I already have way too many fish to ship next week. I don't want to work any more than I already have to. Like, I'm going to be spending like 12 hours packing and shipping fish on Monday.
Oh, well, real first world problems there, pal.
I know. Business is too good. I actually have to work. I didn't go into business for myself to work. I started my own business so I could sit around and do nothing. Dang it.
If you, yeah, you'll figure that out real quick. That ain't happening, my friend.
No, I don't even have. Yeah, it's crazy busy, man. It's insane.
Well, that's good. That's kind of what I wanted to hear you say when I said, "How's business?" I wanted to, find out how things are going, and see, give you a chance to promote your website. Why not? You're my friend. I don't mind. You're not paying me for it. I wish you were, but have at it.
It was a rocky start. Trying to get wholesalers. A lot of the business is still stuck in the past. Doesn't recognize internet or social media. There's a lot of companies are finally getting on board with the internet, but they still like social media. What are you doing? I think Aquatop, they have their Instagram is like a picture of them in a bar.
What?
Yeah, that's it. They have one picture and it's like all their people in a bar or at some concert or something. And it's just like, who knows? And so it's frustrating trying to work with these companies that don't realize that I don't have a brick and mortar store, so they won't deal with me. But I'm buying and spending more money than a local mom and pop store, and it's just crazy. Like I've been buying so much that now I'm getting like free delivery and all these perks and percentages off. And I know like the local store that shut down that was here. He's a good friend of mine, and he was actually just over here the other day. But I'm ordering way more than he did. So what's the advantage of only selling to him over me?
Right.
And that was the hardest part. But now I've got some really good wholesalers. I've got a lot of Dan's Fish help me out a lot as well, and I can get anything in wholesale now. Absolutely anything.
I ran into that problem when I had my shop. Even when I had my shop. There were a few, I'm not going to say who they were, just like I'm sure you're not. But
I did.
Well, you said something about Aquatalk, but there were some farms that didn't want to sell to me because I had a website and I would sell the fish on the website. And I said, but wait a minute, I do have a brick and mortar store too. Here's the address. Here's the picture of the building. It's there. But we also sell online. And there were a few that we had to convince to sell us fish, which is like,
it's like, here, I'm trying to give you money. Why don't you want my money?
The only thing where I could see that being an argument that makes sense is if it's a store that kind of like, I think, what is it, Tetra, that doesn't allow people to sell their products online or whatever. I feel like, and I might be totally wrong when I said Tetra. I don't know. I don't remember what brand it is.
The only one I know of is Aqua Vitro.
Corey, I felt like Corey was talking about like Tetra brand or something, but it doesn't matter. The only acceptable excuse I could see for that would be, hey, we're trying to preserve the mom and pop pet store and even the big box pet store. You online people are all going to put these companies out of business, so we're trying to keep those businesses alive. I kind of get that. I don't agree with it, but I kind of get it. But I don't.
I mean that they do. So the wholesaler I have now is really good. but they said that they wouldn't give me an account if there was a local fish store next to me. And their issue was is that when they sell to people with online business and they get fish that don't sell online, then they'll go to like local Facebook groups and be like, take all these fish for $10, and and taking that business away from the local fish store. They were telling me that happens a lot, and and to help prove my case or whatever to get my account, I was like, well, I don't do in-person sales, I don't do Facebook sales, I don't allow people in my house for insurance reasons, I don't want to pay, it's almost quadruple the business insurance to have people come to my house, and all the liability, and plus, it didn't hurt that my local fish store went out of business, and then next closest one shut down, and then the next closest one burned down. So there wasn't really anything in my area to compete with anyways, but that was their concern about people selling on Facebook for some reason. And I guess it makes sense, but I wouldn't think it would be that big of a problem.
I get that part of it too. But again, it's like this is where it's going. I mean, this is what the world is becoming. I want there to be a mom and pop pet store on every corner. Of course I do. But this is where we are right now. And if you don't acknowledge that, it's really no different when it comes to just marketing in general. I'm not looking at the chat for whatever you're laughing at, or people are laughing at us for not talking about fish.
Somebody asked where I was the night the store burned down.
Oh, that's cute. Let me mention here real quick. Kaler's Aquatics came in. What a supporter of the YouTube community he is. With the $10 super chat, he said Prince for the win. Going back, I don't want to start talking music again because we could go all day long on that. And then Unfiltered Aquarist, he broke the cardinal rule. He committed a cardinal sin. He said, let's talk about fish. And he gave a $10 super chat attached to that, followed up with another $10 super chat saying, sorry, Bob. Because I guess that came through right when you were saying, hey, sometimes we might not talk about fish. But obviously, I wanted to back up what you said earlier, that it is true. The whole purpose of this is just hang out and have a conversation. And I'm a humongous admirer of Joe Rogan and that man's ability to just go with the conversation. And no matter what he's talking about, he had a guy on the other day that I'd never heard of, no idea who he was. I listened to all 2.5 hours of it because it's entertaining. It's fun. I'm not saying I'm going to try to be Joe Rogan. I'm just saying there are going to be things that we talk about on this Saturday night stream that might not be fish. And that's okay. That's the whole reason why we're doing it. But,
well, that's probably why he has the number one podcast. So,
well, yeah,
because he's good at it.
Yeah. I mean, and that's when you know somebody's made it, when they can be talking about something that you have no interest in whatsoever, but you're going to watch it anyway. That's when you know they're good at what they do. And Rogan, I don't agree with everything Joe Rogan does or says, but I'm totally entertained by his podcast. I absolutely love it. So, and I think that there's probably going to be guests that I have on this stream that maybe the conversation doesn't go anywhere and we've got to just talk about fish and that's it. But to me, that's what everybody does. So let's just have some fun and let's have a conversation and see where it goes. Cichlid Dan came in with the $2 and I don't know what he said with it. Let me see if I can catch it here.
He says, is running your own fish store profitable?
Okay, there we go. Yeah, I turned the chat off because I kept seeing people say, let's talk about fish, and it was making me mad, and I didn't want to be a jerk, so I actually turned the chat off. But thank you so much for that, Cichlid Dan. I'm going to let you take it first, Bob, and then I'll add my 2 cents on that.
So my store is not profitable yet, but it's all because I've been building the infrastructure for 2 months. I figure by the time I'm ready for shipping again in the spring, I won't have any building costs left. I won't have any of that stuff eating up any of the profits, and I think it'll be profitable, but it's not going to be like game-changing money. It's not going to be like I'm going to go buy a mansion in a BMW, or not that I would ever buy that anyways, but
BMWs are nice.
Just an example, like it's not going to be like what I call FU money, like like bank calls you can just give them the finger, be like, I don't need you, I got money, like I don't know. So it's not going to be like that. It is going to be, it'll probably be decent, but It's not going to be like game-changing income by any means. I think you make. I think the possibility is there. I just think it takes a while.
Do you think, like, is your plan to, this is a really dumb question, but to move out of there and like get a brick and mortar location somewhere, a warehouse or something? Or, like, are you
So
looking
I don't
that
know that
far
I
ahead?
want. Yeah, I don't know that I want brick and mortar, but I do want a larger facility, and I want to go. I don't think I want to do brick and mortar. I don't want to do retail because I don't want to be in a commercial zone. Like I want to be in an industrial zoned complex because it's generally cheaper. Um, I don't really care about having a store on a main street or anything like that. I still want a majority of everything to be shipping. However, if I do get like a warehouse, then yes, I can have people come there. One, because I don't want strangers coming to my house, regardless. But I think I'd be more accepting of people coming to like a business location. But yeah, if I could just find somewhere, like 1,000 square feet, maybe 1,500, and just that's kind of like my end game goal at this point to not have it in my house and have a lot more room, basically.
Something to be said about your commute to work, though.
I roll out of bed and I walk to work in my pajamas and
I mean, like Lisa and I, our fantasy was when we had our tanks in the garage, not this house, this was 2 houses ago. When we first started our YouTube channel and first started KG Tropicals, our fantasy was to have that building on our property somewhere, like a big building like Joey has or whatever, and have all of the tanks in there. And again, you get up in the morning, you walk through the backyard, and there you are. Obviously, that never happened, but that was what we truly wanted because we knew we were going to need to expand and go out into another building, but we wanted that to be at home. And you know, the biggest mistake we made, you didn't ask me for advice, but I'm going to give it to you anyway, because I have failed at what you're doing. Just ride it out as long as you can. Where you're
yeah, but you had
at.
an actual retail location though, right? Like an actual store?
But we started in our house, just like you are.
Oh, okay.
We had basically a 3-car garage. If you go and watch my first 10 videos, they're all in that garage. We had 127 tanks crammed into that garage, including an 8-foot tank, a couple of 6-foot tanks, which are actually we still have. We had it very strategically, and actually, I'm pretty proud of the design that we had all of these tanks in there without feeling too crammed in, kind of like Lucas's setup, like hundreds of tanks, but it doesn't feel like that. And we were doing well in there. The business was growing and things were good. And then the retail location that you're talking about opened up 100 yards from our house, like right across the street and like 3 doors down. This retail commercial, licensed, what do you call it? Certified, whatever, retail location opened up. Perfect location. And we were like, well, we got to get it now. Otherwise, when we want it, when we do want to move out, we're not going to have, it's not going to be available. And we did it before we were ready. And it turned out to be a huge mistake. We should have waited like another 3 years. We could have operated in that garage that we had for another several years and we would have been fine. But so
Yeah,
stay in
that's
that.
one of my strategies is to grow really, really slow. Like I'm not in a hurry, I don't, I'm in a fortunate situation that I don't have a lot of bills. I don't really need to make a lot of money. I don't need to grow super fast. So I just want to scale it very manageably. I don't know what I'm
Smart.
trying to say there,
That's
but
a nice word that you just invented there. You and I are both friends with one of the most brilliant aquatic businessmen on planet Earth, and I bet you Corey would even tell you, you move out of your house when your house is holding you back. Like it's what I wish we would have done. is stayed the course, continued doing exactly what we're doing. And then when we realized we could be doing so much more, if we added 75 more tanks, we could be doing this much more business, and we could do this and do that. We could expand into this kind of fish. So we need to move out to a bigger location to be able to do that. That's when it's time to move out. But if it's, well, the good spot's available and it's cheap and it's right across the street, so let's do it now, that's the mistake. We made that mistake. I don't want to see you make that mistake. I gave the same advice to the Cichlid Shack, and they did that, and they stayed at their house for several years. They're in a spot now, but he waited for a long time, and I was very happy that he did. And I bet you he's grateful that he did too.
Well, the nice thing, the way that I've built it, so I've never shown like the whole room. I haven't done like a tour video yet because I don't want to do it until it's done. The nice thing is like I've built it, it's very modular. So there's a wall that goes, or a rack that goes down the middle of my garage, right? So that, and then there's like the other half of the garage is on the other side of that. That wall is the exact same length if I was just to take it and swing it out this way when I expand. And so like when it's time to expand, that's all I got to do is unbolt a few, or, unscrew a few screws, slide it, build one more wall, and then there's a whole new section right there.
That's nice.
So yeah, it's definitely thinking ahead. If it ever gets that far, it'll be nice and easy. But yeah, we'll see what happens. It should be a lot of fun either way. Like, and that's the thing, like even if I fail, like I'm still having a ton of fun. So I don't care if it fails. Like, I got a pretty solid background to fall back to if I ever need to. And,
Is that, cause you, before you quit your job, you had a job that, it's a good job, I would imagine. I don't know, you might have hated it or whatever, but it's a good field anyway. Is that why you went ahead and took the risk and left so soon, was because you can go back anytime you need to, or what?
It's one of the reasons. To take that jump, it wasn't a big deal for me because I don't have kids, I'm not married, I have no one to support except for basically my dogs and myself. So there's really not a whole lot on the line for me if I fail. And like yeah, with that background, I can just go back. I have a very wide skill set, but at the same time, it's very, very narrow what I can do. And then not a lot of people can do it. So it wouldn't be hard to, go back. And there's not any like shortage of places for me to go either, which is the other nice thing.
Nice. Yeah, that definitely makes it easier. And that's kind of the job I have is the same way. When KG Tropicals tanked, I was able to go right back to it, and it was no big deal. And like, it's like flicking a switch, and boom, everything's okay. I'm back to making a decent living, and everything's good. I've been asked 150,000 times, when are you going to go full time on YouTube? I don't know when that's going to happen, or if it's ever going to be something that could happen. But one of the things that's going to allow me to do that someday is the fact that if it doesn't work out for the second time, then I could go back. I could just put my tail between my legs and go back to fixing furniture again. Boy, was it hard the first time, and I can't imagine how difficult it would be to do that a second time. But it's nice to be able to do that. And my business, my furniture business, is one that I can just turn on, turn off, and do what I got to do. So.
I would think that, making YouTube videos and doing that is better than scraping dead dudes off of couches. But,
You heard that story. That, I still have nightmares about that.
When you were telling me that story and how they still expect you to clean it, like the only thing that comes to my mind is that seems like a pretty big biohazard and you shouldn't be allowed to even be in
that's exactly what I said. I didn't do it. I mean, no way. I'm not touching that. Are you crazy? Whenever I clean upholstery for my job, it's like somebody spilled spaghetti on the arm of their chair, and I go and take a scrub brush and clean it off, and I'm out the door in 15 minutes. And I actually make good money on those calls, so I don't mind doing it. But sometimes you get ones like that, And but you're absolutely right. I'm not prepared for that. I don't have the equipment to do that, and the amount of money that you're willing to pay to quite literally scrape a dead man off of a sofa. I'm sorry, I'm just not doing it. That's not what I do. And that's exactly what I told him. I said, look, I'm not prepared for this. I'm not going to suit up in some kind of hazmat suit. No, throw that sofa away. I'm not doing it.
I heard that. I heard the other stories, and it was totally relatable because I work for Comcast. I went out in the field, and I walked into one house that their cable wasn't working, and like you couldn't see the floor anywhere. It's just all trash. There's dogs. There's kids, and I just remember like me and the other technician. We just looked there and we like, nope. It's just not even.
It is. It's absolutely unthinkable the way some people live. And you know what? Doesn't make them bad people, but it's ugly stuff. Allie Patton wants me to wear a bracelet that Lisa has a button and she can shock me when I act like a jerk.
Just get the electric dog collar.
Why am I being accused of being a jerk so much? I really don't know. I don't know what's happened here. I'm all of a sudden like I'm a jerk kind of guy. I try so hard to be nice. But Lisa agreed, by the way. She likes that idea.
That's probably why, because she's fostering that environment that you're a jerk.
I want to ask you this too. This is something that popped into my head like 2 hours ago. I watched were we done talking about the other stuff? I don't know.
I don't remember what we were talking about anyways.
Yeah, that's what the best part of this kind of conversation is. I saw a YouTube video from I know you're going to find this hard to believe, but a fitness channel that I'm subscribed to. I don't watch his videos very much anymore, but I watched this one, and he is one of those people that is very hesitant to call himself an influencer. And it made me think, you know what? I'm going to ask Bob when I speak to him tonight. I'm going to ask you, Bob Steenfott, are you an influencer?
So I don't consider myself an influencer, but it would be ridiculous to say that we're not. I don't know if there's a rule on how many people you have to influence to be an influencer, but like obviously me going on a live stream in trashing a product or a company, it's going to influence probably at least one person. So does that make me an influencer? I don't know. I'm sure lots of people complain about stuff, whether they're on the internet or not. I just have a wider reach. I don't know. It's weird to think of myself as an influencer, but I think we all are, definitely.
For some reason, and I've said it myself before, like I don't like calling myself an influencer. I've said that on this channel multiple times. But then I started thinking about it, and I was like, I don't know why that bothers me. I don't know why it bothers me for me to be called an influencer.
Why it's negative?
Huh? Yeah. Why is that a negative thing? Like, why should I be ashamed if maybe it's calling yourself an influencer that people have a problem with, but if someone else says it, then it's not that bad.
It's weird that he would say it because that's basically what he's trying to do is influence people to work out or influence people to eat healthier. Like he is like the exact definition of an influencer.
Well, and this kid is definitely one of them. I mean, he's young. He's like 27, and he's a guy that used to be 380 pounds, I think, and now he's a like buff bodybuilder kind of guy.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Obese to Beast is the channel name. He was on Ellen's show and all this. I mean, he's an awesome kid, and that's why I keep watching him. He's just very uplifting and very positive and all of that. And he has a problem labeling himself as an influencer. Whenever he says influencer, he does these, which I think is so corny, and I do it sometimes too. And it just made me wonder, like, why? Because you're absolutely right. I'm doing these reviews on these filters, and there's absolutely no doubt that my opinion on these filters will influence someone to make a decision. Whether it's because I say it or because they just see it in the video and they say, I like that. Any way you want to look at it, my video could be a thing that influences that person to go and buy it. So we are influencers, whether we want to admit it or not. I just think we have some type of a hard time admitting it or labeling ourselves that. I don't know. But I just saw Corey's name pop up. Corey is a massive influencer in this industry. I mean, that guy has pull, like, you know, it's hardcore how much pull that guys have, how much pull that guy has. So yeah, I mean, it is a thing, and I can't quite figure out why it's such a difficult thing to allow ourselves to call ourselves that. I don't know.
It just, if you put it in perspective, like your channel, like with your subscribers, you could fill like the largest stadiums in the world. Can you imagine like seeing all your subscribers in one spot? Is there even a stadium that could fit 140,000 people? Maybe, I don't know. But
I don't know. I mean, Wembley maybe is big enough.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking maybe some of the big soccer stadiums in Europe too, but
yeah.
I mean, that's crazy. Obviously, you know, you influence people, I influence people. The only thing I don't ever want to do is be the guy that's like peddling crap, you know, like this is the
wow guy.
This is like the ultimate piece of equipment right here, and it's like a $1 piece of crap.
Right.
You know, that's the only thing I watch out for. Like, I don't want to be that guy.
Well, and it is true that just like I was talking about earlier, that people might be influenced to buy a filter because of my reviews, or they might be influenced to buy something off your website because they saw you talk about them. That could go badly too, you know, because I don't care what we're talking about here tonight as far as being an influencer. If you have 5 subscribers, you still fit that mold. I mean, there's no channel size that is attached to you being an influencer, because the fact is anybody can watch any video and be influenced by that. And there could be somebody, I've been certainly accused of my opinions being bad, but somebody could be giving bad information and influencing people to do the wrong thing. So the influencer thing can go both ways. And I just did it. I did it. I'm guilty. I did that. It can go both ways. It can be negative. It can be positive. I just try so hard to be positive, and I'm called a jerk every day. Allie Patton wants to put a shock bracelet on me. I mean,
I know she's not even sending super chats. She's sending you a bill. She's like, you owe me money.
Joseph Harden said it should be activated by super chats. It's gone now, but he said something like that, like you super chat and it shocks John. Y'all would have so much fun with that, wouldn't you? Jeez. Hey, I could make some money. So if I want to make a bunch of money.
I think Scott sums it up here pretty well. He says, hopefully people come for an opinion and then make their own decision. That's what it is. Like, I try to stress it a lot on my live streams when people ask me questions, and I'm just like, I don't know. Like, I don't want to be one of these people that fake it so they don't look stupid on the internet. I'm perfectly okay with looking stupid on the internet. In my live streams, I say I don't know a lot. I say it a lot because I don't know. If I've never done it personally, I don't know. Can I have an opinion? Yes, I can have an opinion, but it's not fact. You know, it's just an opinion. So I always try to stress that. Like, I'm not an expert. You know, I've never claimed to be an expert on anything fish related. I just like documenting it.
Well, and I think that's true for all of us. And I think that's true for, dare I say, everyone that's in this hobby. And I've said this so many times before. We are sharing our experiences. When I do a video about African cichlids or arowanas or whatever, I'm sharing my experiences, what I know from the experiences that I've had keeping those fish. You might disagree. Corey might disagree. 136,000 people might disagree, but that's my opinion on it. The problem is when people see it and they're like, okay, that's the gospel truth. That is now the rule, and that is what it is. But this entire hobby is opinion-based. Maybe I'm wrong, but it just is. The entire hobby is. When you share something, whether you're one of those people that's labeled the OGs or you're somebody that is, you know, a marine biologist, you're still sharing your opinions based on what you've learned. And there you go.
I would like to So Ali Patton is shocking you now.
That is
Um,
hilarious. I
I
love
want I
her.
want to appreciate and say thank you to the super chats as well because John has agreed to split them all 50-50 with me.
I have
So
done no such thing. Not even
what?
close to that. Absolutely not.
It's the only reason I came on here tonight.
I fulfilled your rider requirements prior to starting the stream. I took out all the brown M&Ms. I did what you wanted me to do, and that's as far as I'm going. I am not. No. The funny thing is,
Feel
it's
so
so
gypped.
difficult with super chats because YouTube takes their cut, and then you don't see the money for a month or whatever, and it's so hard. But
Well, and you can't forget the man, the tax man.
yeah, that too. IFG always ends his videos with "This is an opinion from a regular guy." Then that's genius. And I don't have like some type of a tagline that I use. And here I go again. I hate it when people do this, and I've done it like 5 times. I don't have like an official tagline that I use, but I try to do the same thing. Like, hey, this is my opinion. We can disagree and we can still be friends. I've said it a million times. But what are you laughing at now?
Just chat. Scott says, Bob, if I knew that, I would have super chatted. It's funny because I was talking to an influencer last night, and we were talking about fish tubers and stuff, and I was like, there's only really 2 fish tubers that I would consider like fish experts, and one's obviously Rachel, and then Corey. Like those are the, and I'm sure there's more, and I'm gonna get called out and be told a jerk because I didn't say them, but those are like the 2 people that I would consider like actual fish experts.
I agree. I completely agree. I'm not going to agree that they're the only ones, but I definitely agree with putting them on the list. And it's hard. Those 2 are unanimously looked at as experts, and that's good. There are some that I could tell you that I believe are very good at what they do and borderline expert, if not full-blown expert. But then you'd have 150 people message me and say, how dare you say that person's an expert? You know what I mean? Whereas they won't necessarily do that with Corey or with Rachel. So I agree with you there. And it depends on what your definition of expert is. I think George Farmer is an expert at aquascaping. Is he an expert fish keeper? I don't know. I mean, I've had a few
I don't
conversations.
think any of those expert aquascapers are expert fish keepers.
I mean, I don't know because I don't even care what they know about
Dropping
fish.
bombs. No, I'm totally kidding. I'm totally kidding. It's a joke, people.
Uh-oh. My cat's got a hold of a wire, and that's never a good thing. Let me stop that from happening here.
Oh, yeah. And you see, now people are already calling, like Jason, like he should be on the list. I mean, the dude's like a PhD.
He is. Yeah, you're
molecular
right.
biology or whatever it is. I don't know. But
And I don't know anybody that would disagree with that either.
yeah, that's a good one.
$5 from Raphael Buller. 100% agree. In most cases, it's just personal opinion, just like Prince or Hendrix. There you go. That's absolutely right. You can't not acknowledge the talent of those 2 musicians. Some people are going to say they're the best in the world, and some people are going to say, yeah, they're just really good. And I mean, this hobby is that way. There are people that are a lot smarter than others, and they are experts. I think Corey is like no other human I've ever known. It's like the guy does not forget anything ever. And that is his... I mean, I wish I could be like that because, Lord have mercy, I forget things. You know, I can remember that house I went to with the old lady laying in the cot in the dog poop room, but I can't remember something that happened yesterday. I mean, it's really weird. I wish I had a memory like Corey does. The guy's just, he doesn't forget anything. I don't know where I was going.
When I think of that, I think of I don't know, experts pretty broad, but I think of like, I feel like I could ask them a question, anything fish related, and both of them would have a good answer for me.
Yep.
And whether they would or wouldn't, I don't know, but that's just how I feel about both of them.
We are here to promote and then push guys to true experts like Rachel. Let's see. Kenneth. Let's see what Kenneth said, because that is a response to that. I don't see a Kenneth. King and Queen cichlids are experts. Oh, there you go. King and Queen cichlids are awesome. We love them.
Ooh, it's very specific. I like it.
And then he comes in with the $20 and he says, so 15 for Bob, 4 for Lisa, 1 for John. See if you can work that out. That hurts my feelings a lot. I don't disagree that Bob deserves I don't disagree with any of it, actually, because let's be real. Whatever I get, it's going to Lisa anyway. So, and let me see if I can hear her from the other room saying, that's right. That's very nice of you, Scott, though. Thank you so much. Scott's going to have to be a future guest on here. You want to talk about a guy that can stir up some controversy. Okay, that's fine. I'm not going to remember that I said that. So we are all getting old, John. Hit the like, please. Thank you, Candy. There are so many micro niches to the hobby and the industry. It's very true. And you know what I was talking about before? This is an industry, I've learned, that moves at a snail's pace. You were saying you want to grow at a snail's pace. I think this industry... I said it's my opinion, not yours. We don't need your opinion. Can you hear her? Him?
I'm looking outside, wondering if cats are fighting outside my house.
He's a drama king. This industry moves at a snail's pace, and eventually, anyone that's watching this right now, that is like entertaining the idea, should I start a YouTube channel? Is there ever really going to be anything from it? You absolutely should, because I think we're still a couple of years away from the industry finally getting us and finally embracing us in full. There's a few companies that already are.
You know what's going to happen, though?
What?
As soon as the fish industry catches up, YouTube is not going to be a thing anymore.
That could be. I mean, I've thought about that a lot. I don't believe it because they're so big. I just can't imagine them ever like being overtaken by somebody else. I just can't imagine that. Zuckerberg has tried, one of the biggest companies in the world. Bill Gates has tried, and nobody has. So, you know, I don't know. But there is going to be a time where...
It has to happen eventually, though. Like, you can't say number one forever. Like, that's never happened in the history of history.
Well, yeah, you're right. But then at the same time, I'm not necessarily saying it's going to stay number one. I can't see it just disappearing like MySpace did. I mean, I can't see that. Rena.
I still have a MySpace account. What are you talking about?
You loser. Rena, really? Stop. Come on. I'm live in front of hundreds of thousands of people. I can't see them just going away like MySpace did, though. I mean, losers like you still have a MySpace account, but they're gone. You know, Dane Cook's website is gone now. But
well, that's a good thing.
Oh, here you go. How dare you? I remember
him and Carlos Mencia can go hang out on an island together for all I care.
Listen, I am not going to tolerate this type of blaspheme against Dane Cook. You can say whatever you want to say about Carlos Mencia, but don't you dare speak ill of Dane Cook. Love that guy. Suppose you don't like Louis C.K. either, huh?
I mean, I liked him before all that stuff came out about him.
Yeah. Listen, here's my thing, okay? When it comes to entertainers, musicians, actors, athletes, I wish I could use the expletives that I would like to use to explain how little I care about their personal lives. I don't at all. There are a lot of actors who I love watching on movies, and I will see a movie if they're in it, no matter what. I don't care what they do in their personal life, and I can't even think because my dogs are freaking out. But I don't care what these people do.
I don't know what's going on in your house right now, but I don't think I want to know.
It's just, this is my world. This is where I live. I don't care what people do in their personal lives, and that holds true with YouTubers too. I mean, if a YouTuber is making good videos, I don't care what they do in their personal time. It just doesn't matter to me. I mean, if they're murdering babies or something, that's a problem. But, their religion or their politics or whatever, I don't care about all that stuff.
See, I don't care about that stuff either. I don't even like. I have close friends that are so on the opposite side of the spectrum that I'm on anything religious or political, and we're not going to go down that street, obviously. But when it comes to like, I don't care what they do in their personal life as long as they're not harming anyone else. When it comes to harming other people, then I care. That's where I draw the line.
Sure, or animals. The animal part bothers me too.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
It's so weird. I can fall down the rabbit hole of watching videos of like street fights and people getting knocked out and stuff, and I'm entertained by that. But then when I turn on Philip DeFranco the other day and he shows that video, I don't know if you watch his channel, but it was like a viral video of a woman at a dog place picking up a dog and throwing it. I was enraged by that. Like I wanted to hurt somebody when I saw that. Like if I saw that happen in person, I would turn into a different human being. And it's weird.
It would be John Wick time for sure.
That's true.
I'm sure if either of us saw that in person,
I would lose it, and I wouldn't care about ramifications because I would lose my mind over something like that. But if a dude got hit in the face, I'd be like, well, let me get out of here because I have no time for that. I mean, it depends on the circumstances, of course. I mean, I'm not completely soulless, but I don't know. When I see stuff like that, maybe it's just been desensitized. I don't know. But when I see those kind of things happen to people, it doesn't bother me as much as it does animals or kids. But
because for the most part, people can defend themselves. Animals can't really.
Did you see the video that I'm talking about?
I haven't, but I don't know that I want to, honestly.
I love Philip DeFranco, but I have unsubscribed from his channel, I think 3 times. Excuse me. And all 3 times were because it's not his fault, but it was because he was talking about a viral video that happened of somebody abusing an animal. And it made me I'm not even going to talk about the other ones because I told Lisa about one of them and she cried and she was like, how could you tell me that? It's like, if I'm in pain, I need you to share that pain with me. But it's all 3 times I have unsubscribed from his channel are because of videos where he was talking about abuse of animals. And I don't know. It just really bothers me. But I can watch people fall down on skateboards all day long. And I can watch people.
That's funny.
It is funny. And you want to know what's funnier than that? And I could watch these all day long are the videos of people walking into glass doors. All day long, I could watch that. And some people like break their noses and stuff. I could watch those videos for 9 hours straight and just be completely
entertained. Oh my gosh, the lady that walking in the mall on her phone and falls into a fountain. Oh gosh.
All of those videos, when people are stupid and they fall down or whatever, I'm entertained by that. But of course, I don't want to see that with kids or with old people or animals. But a normal person, sure, I can watch that all day long. Oscar, if John and I ever go live, it will be more about comics and Star Wars than fish. Yeah, Bob's not nerdy enough to go there with...
Hey, I'm all about Star Wars, the original Star Wars, not the new crap that's coming out. And
thanks for just losing me half my subscribers. Thanks, Bob.
I mean, I feel like you've seen one comic book movie, you've seen them all. They're all the same.
How dare you? How dare you? No, you say these things all the time. You talk about chihuahuas all the time, and it just infuriates me. But no, you don't infuriate me. Again, you don't like chihuahuas, but you and I are still friends, even though I love chihuahuas.
See, and here's the thing, like, it's not that I don't dislike chihuahuas. I would never own one because it's not my style of dog. But I'm not gonna be like, oh, there's a chihuahua, I'm gonna run it over in my car. I hate them, So it's not that I don't hate them. They're just not my style.
I agree.
But they're still an animal. They're still a dog, and I love all dogs.
I didn't mean to say I agree. I meant to say I get it, because I don't agree, obviously, because I have 2 chihuahuas and I love them very much. Do I do Comic-Con? No, I don't, because it's on the entire opposite side of the country from me. But John can't handle Liz and I for 2 hours. You forget we spent a whole day together, Scott? Come on now. Somebody, I think, suggested doing a King and Queen Cichlids guest spot and having it be half me and Scott and half Liz and Lisa. That'd be fun. I don't know. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I'm going to interrupt you for once.
How dare you?
I would go to Comic-Con. Absolutely, I would.
So that you can make fun of people?
As a single guy, I can't imagine somewhere better that I'd want to be besides a Comic-Con.
Because you would want to make fun of people. Is that why?
No.
You're into comic books then?
No, but I'm into women that are dressed up.
Oh, here we go. You are a maniac.
You had to keep pushing. I said because I'm single, and then you had to keep pushing. You took it there, not me.
The cosplay
You should have caught that one. A little light bulb should have went off in your head.
Well, listen, I'm going to change your life, okay? I'm going to change your world.
Nope, I don't swing that way. Sorry.
Oh, stop it. You need to watch the show on Amazon Prime, which you have. I know you do.
Absolutely.
The Boys.
I've already seen it, man. I saw it the day it came out.
Okay. What did you think?
I binge watched the whole thing. I didn't get anything done that day.
My man. Yep.
It was a pleasant change to the superhero genre.
Everybody that's been following me knows what's coming next. How do you feel about Watchmen? Have you watched that one yet?
That I have not watched.
Do you have HBO in any way, shape, or form?
No. Nope.
Okay. Well, I think you should do it. I think you should watch it because it's very good. And it is the Watchmen. I mean, the movie you can get on Amazon Prime. It's like $4. The movie that was made in 2004, which is very good. It's kind of along the same lines as The Boys. It's like that anti-superhero type deal. The author of the comic, Alan Moore, is a very political guy, which is kind of what The Boys is all about. It's on the inside of that stuff. It's very unique. It's very cool, and I am absolutely obsessed with it right now. Not as much obsessed with the show as I am the Watchmen as a whole. The show is good, but yeah, you should watch that. If you like The Boys, you'll like it. Trust me.
Well, I'm not paying for it. If it's free on Prime, I'll watch it.
I think it'll cost you like $4.
I got $4. You kidding me?
Whatever. All them fish you got to pack up and sell, you got all kinds of money.
Yeah, shipping ain't cheap, my friend.
I know. Somebody asked, Watchmen don't do it. How dare objective viewer say Watchmen don't do it and have the name objective viewer? How dare you? I love saying how dare you. I just think it's so fun to say that. I'm here too, John. About what? What did I not include you in, Miss Lisa? I don't get it.
No, you see, you're behind in the conversation.
What happened?
Scott agreed with me and gave me my super chat back. And then someone said, "What about Lisa?" And he said, "Lisa's asleep. I can say whatever I want." Or not Lisa. Yeah. Right?
I didn't say Lisa's asleep. I can say whatever I want.
No. I just got everyone's names all mixed up. I ruined it. What if you would just pay attention to chat?
I mean, you're a streamer. You stream like 3 times a day. You know how difficult that is to keep up with the chat.
Plus, I'm terrible with names. I screwed up that whole story really bad. Let's just move on.
What else was I going to talk to you about? Oh, this is a good topic, and it does involve fish tubes. So, but I'm gonna answer this question first because I see my name on it. And nobody asks me questions because everybody's mad at me all the time. John, that's money. Get the shirts made ASAP. For what? What happened now? Somebody. I don't know what that's worth. It's worth money. Just sent you $15, Bob. I don't know what this is. I don't know what's happening here. Did you hear that? Or I mean, are you on Instagram? Do you do the whole Instagram thing?
I love Instagram. I don't post very often, but I love just being able to go on and look at pictures and not to. Like, I hate Twitter. Twitter was awful. I do dig Instagram.
How do you feel about the whole thing with them removing likes from Instagram?
That's an interesting thing. I think it's unfortunate that people have to wrap their self-esteem around how many likes they get on a post. Um, I think it's ridiculous, and I don't think it's necessary. As someone who posts, we can still look at how many likes our posts get.
Right.
So the fact that they say they're doing it for mental health, if I can still see how many likes I'm getting, like, how is that helping me if it's something that's causing an issue for me? And then I heard the argument of, oh, this is the most ridiculous thing I heard about this whole thing. Is somebody said, I don't remember who I was watching, but they were like, just think if the Beatles had to worry about how much likes they had, they wouldn't have been able to spend all that time making music. They would have been spending all that time worrying about likes. And I'm like, that's the most ridiculous argument I've ever heard in my life. Like, I don't know. I don't think it's going to affect me one way or the other, because I'm not whoring myself out for likes. So I just post stuff, the same thing I do on YouTube. I post stuff because it's fun. Whatever happens, happens.
I don't know how I feel about it yet. What I do know is that YouTube's probably going to follow suit, because they're all looking to do something that the others haven't done. And when somebody does that, then all of a sudden,
well, see, you can almost say that YouTube did it first with removing subscriber counts. That to me was the most ridiculous bunch of BS that I've ever seen. Now that they don't track subscriber counts. But
what are you talking about? They didn't. I mean, they still show how many subscribers you have. They just don't.
Yeah,
show...
but they don't show it like daily. So it's like,
okay,
they don't show like the last 2 digits, right? And so now when I could just go over on Social Blade and be like, okay, how many subscribers did I get today? No, now I actually have to go into, analytics, go to subscribers, look it up. And so it's like the information is still there. You just made it harder for me to get to the information. Right. And now you're being less transparent to other people. I don't know. It was a weird, and again, their reasoning was, oh, for mental health, we don't want people to get caught up on subscribers. Well, how are we supposed to monitor how well we're doing?
Well, here's the second reason for this stream to get demonetized. I don't think that it was that at all. I think the reason why YouTube did that was because there are so many outside websites like Social Blade, like TubeBuddy, and all the other 750 websites that are YouTube specialty websites. Here I go again. Making money off of YouTube analytics, and they took that away from them. That's what I believe. That YouTube was like, look, you're making money off of our product, and that's a bad thing. And so I think that that's why they did that. The mental health angle of it, I do think I agree with that, but not for people our age. I think it's because so many young people, and when I say young people, I'm talking about teenagers and all of that, are basing their self-esteem on how many likes their posts or pictures or whatever get. So you take that away.
I could
but
see
you're not taking it away though, because you can still see it. But
yeah, so and that's the thing. Like, it was weird when I went on Instagram and it says like, so and so liked it because I'm friends with them, and then it said, and 1,000 others. I'm like, who's this person? Like, I didn't know. Like, I actually hadn't heard they even made the change. I just went on there and saw, every single post I said, or I was watching, it's like, and 1,000 others, and 1,000 others. I'm like, who's this guy that's liking all the posts that I like? Like, I didn't know that it actually meant 1,000 other people. And so then I went on Google and looked it up, and I'm like, oh, they took away the likes, but they're still there. So what's the point?
Oscar Caraballo Sr., I hope I'm saying your name right. I was saying that regarding your favorite quote, hashtag how dare you get the shirts made. I get it now. I got you. I would love to do that, but I wouldn't be able to do it without acknowledging the fact that I totally stole that from Rogan. That is totally a Rogan thing, the how dare you. And so I'd have to give Rogan his cut if I was to make shirts with that. But I just love saying "How dare you." I think it's funny. I don't know why. I don't know why I laugh at that. I don't know. It's just weird. But no,
it's to me, and we're gonna dive into conspiracy.
Oh boy,
I think it's the corporation. I don't know.
Good try. There you go.
Of social media, like the corporations are coming and taking over social media, like the bigger ones. It's the whole thing when YouTube wanted to get rid of verification, and like take away people's verification and then hand pick who they verify. And then there was that huge outrage over that, so they didn't do it. But they're still verifying people that they want to verify. I saw a channel with 50,000 subscribers that was verified, and the rule is 100,000. So they're still picking and choosing who they want to verify. You look at, top trending, it's always like late night or Sports Center.
Right.
So I think this is just a big move. And like the African American Cichlid, $2 super chat, they're hiding likes to get rid of influencers. Absolutely. Especially on Instagram, where a lot of influencers got paid on likes. That's a form of getting paid on Instagram is, maybe it's $1 per like or 10 cents per like. I don't know, because I've never made a dime on Instagram. I don't know how it works. But I do know that there are companies that pay per like when they promote their product, and now that's gone.
Well, and that's probably the biggest thing that scares me about what we do as far as YouTube goes, the AdSense revenue and all that. Because if I had a company call me tomorrow, which they won't, and they said, we want to pay you $5,000 to review this product. Again, they won't, but what if? It's weird. If I was YouTube, I would have a problem with that. Oh, look at this. She does love me. All you people saying I'm mean to her, I can't be that mean. She just brought me a Coke. You going to sit down for a little bit? No. You should. No. Sit down. Come on. Let me be a jerk to you in person. Bob wants you to, too.
And I thought
everybody start putting it in the chat. Lisa needs to come sit down.
I guess she doesn't like me. I always thought that we were friends, but she doesn't want to come talk to me.
Bob's feelings are hurt. He says, how dare you?
Well, don't be a snowflake, Bob.
Don't be a snowflake, Bob. I'm
a special snowflake.
If I had a website and I was allowing you to put content onto my website for free, and you were getting paid for that, and I wasn't getting anything, that would kind of bother me. And
yeah, but that's not what's happening.
What are you talking about?
Raina.
What do you mean?
I mean, you're putting content on YouTube, and YouTube is getting ad revenue, so it's not like they're not getting anything.
Well, that's true, but they're
and
not.
On the other side of the word, YouTube wouldn't be YouTube if it wasn't for content creators. If it wasn't for us, YouTube wouldn't have anything. Nobody would be coming to YouTube, right? YouTube wouldn't have grown if it wasn't for content creators.
Yeah, and they're definitely making their money. There's no doubt about that. But I mean, I'm using in the world of social media influencers, $5,000 is micro. I mean, you got people out there, like how much do you think it would cost for me to put KG Tropicals on Jake Paul's channel? I hate that guy. I think he's an idiot. But how much do you think that would cost? $1 million? Or Casey Neistat? If I was to reach out to him and Casey, hey, I want you to, how much do you think that would cost? Nike probably pays him $3 million. And he doesn't even put Nike in the video. I mean, it's crazy how much money we're talking about here. I'm sure he doesn't get $3 million, but you know what I'm saying. He gets big money and he deserves it. It's like, when is YouTube going to say, okay, we're getting money from AdSense, but we want a cut of that? That has to come through us. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong here. Everybody wants Lisa. See, I told them. I've got it all set up. She can come sit down right now and it's ready to go. But we could be all three on the screen all at one time. But anyway, I'm not afraid YouTube's going to disappear. You said they're going to disappear. I don't think they're going to disappear. I think
they have to eventually. I'm not saying it's going to be tomorrow. Maybe it's 10 years, maybe it's 50 years, but eventually they'll fall.
Well, in 1995, people were saying the same thing about that little company called Microsoft. So, vehemently disagree with you there. And I have to follow it up with a how dare you. I love the African American cichlid. I think that's so funny. And I really need to know who that channel is. And I think I want to try something here. Because I think, oh yeah, there it is. Look at that. I can put it up on the screen. That's so cool. I'm going to take it off now. Because that was a while ago. Thank you, African American cichlids. That's something that me and Mr. 3000 and Fishy Biz Aquatics came up with. And I thought that was ours. I thought it was our thing. Maybe we were not the first to the party on there. I think I saw another. Was it your idea? Arguing with me? Let me scroll back down here. See, Bob, this is why I said the chat can bog you down sometimes. Jake Paul is a punk. Scott, know what I'm talking about. Lisa, we want Lisa. Hey, Pam, hey. Haven't done water changes in 2 weeks. Been sick and busy. Tested today and nitrates are still 20 or below. I'm happy about that. That's awesome. Good job. Palmer Aquatics, super chat. How do you guys feel about the new YouTube children targeted monetization change? You want to take that first, Bob? Or I'm going to put that up. Look, watch this. Boop. That's cool.
I don't know what you're making those noises for, but anyways.
When you in a second, you'll see it pop up on the
I think it's
screen.
an improvement. When they first came out, they said they were getting rid of all targeted advertisements for everyone. And now they've narrowed it down to just the children. So that's an improvement. But I think it's, it's their own fault. It's YouTube's fault for lying and cheating the system. So I don't know that it'll affect. Of course, when the news first came out that they're getting rid of all targeted ad revenue, it was like doom and gloom for everyone. I did it too. I was like, well, there goes 70% of your revenue.
Yep.
But now I think it was last week, they're like, oh, no, just kids content.
Right.
And so it's going to be very unfortunate for people that have family vlogs. They're gonna lose millions. We are talking about like the large family vlogs that are getting, millions of views per video because their kids are in the videos. That's a huge chunk of money to lose. And I don't know that it'll affect us that much. We still got a month and a half to go before it happens. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I don't think anyone really knows what's going to happen yet.
Raphael Bueller, and Red Raven, thank you all. And I will definitely get to your question in a minute, Raphael. Sorry about that. I did miss that. And anybody that read Lisa's comment that said, you guys are sweet, but it's my son's birthday, she's full of it because he's upstairs with his friends messing around. She's sitting in the kitchen, ain't doing nothing. So she's full of it. Maybe that's why people think I'm a jerk. I'm not as freaked out about it as I was in the very, very beginning when I heard about the whole COPPA thing. In fact, I actually super chatted Nick Nimmin. Are you familiar with Nick Nimmin,
No.
Bob? He's one of those YouTube guys that does videos about YouTube, and I asked him about it, and he actually no, I didn't super chat it. I just put it in the comments because it wouldn't let me super chat, and he read it and he answered me, and he said kind of the same thing that I was feeling, and I don't know that it will affect us. I don't think it will. Maybe a couple of videos that they find in your catalog that they feel like are geared towards kids. I mean, you've done the tanks in the classroom thing and all of that. I don't know how many videos you have on that kind of thing, but
I quit making them. I've set up 3 tanks this year and I didn't film a single one.
Okay. I don't think that our content is geared towards kids, and I think that it's the ones that are directly geared towards kids or have kids as participants in the videos. Those are the ones that are going to get hard. And I do feel bad for a lot of channels that are reliant on that. Like you were saying, like the family vloggers and stuff like that. And even channels that are adults, but their content is heavily consumed by kids, like PewDiePie, like Dude Perfect, channels like that they're not making content for kids, especially PewDiePie, but kids watch it like crazy.
Yeah,
So
all gaming channels are going to get hit so hard.
absolutely, gamers are going to get nailed. Um, so I do feel bad for those people. I think they're going to get hit hard. As far as us goes, Scott, I'm assuming that's what you're asking about. How would it pertain to us? I don't think it will. I hope it won't because I just don't see our content. Sure, kids watch our content, but it's not made for them. So I don't think that I don't think it's going to affect us. That's what my hope is anyway.
Well, and real quick, the bad thing is we can't even check because YouTube, in their terms of service, it says you must be 13 to watch YouTube. To even
Right.
go onto YouTube.com, it says you have to be 13. So we can't even track if kids are watching our videos because it's not in the analytics.
Right.
Like our analytics start from like 13 to 17 and then like 18 to 24, and there's all these groups, and we could track all of that. And even like the 13 to 17 is like I think less than 1% on my channel.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you're right. How are they going to track that? Is it going to be based on what the channel is watching? Because I watch a lot of superhero videos. I watch a lot of videos about superhero movies and about comic books and yes, toys, about, superhero figurines and stuff like that. Are they going to think, well, this guy is a kid because he's looking at this stuff and look, obviously if they look at my channel and see me, they're going to know that I'm not, but just the algorithm looking at it, the Google brain is looking at it just based on my history of the videos that I watch. Could very well be a child that's on my phone watching. I don't know how they're going to do it.
Well, and the wording is very like if you actually sit through and read like the whole terms of service.
I called him Scott and his name's Chris. I'm sorry. Isn't his name Chris? What's Palmer's name?
Chris.
I don't
It's
know
Chris.
why I called him Scott. I feel like an idiot. Sorry about that, Chris.
So anyways, it like the wording, like the legal jargon is like very open to interpretation, and it brings up like what Branded Guy is saying. Like we don't make content for kids, but it is suitable for kids, right? Like there's no swearing, there's no blood, there's no gore, there's no racy stuff. So now, like yeah, we're not making it for kids, but it is probably suitable for kids. So does that mean maybe we get demonetized? I don't know.
When you read the wording of it, it seems like it is actually very specific that you are making this content and your objective is for that content to reach children. And that is a problem. And I don't disagree with them tightening up on that. I think it's another thing of the government getting mixed up in something that they probably shouldn't. I think children's privacy should definitely be private. But I am one of those people, and I've seen a couple of people comment this. It is up to the parents. It absolutely is. If you're a parent, I'm a parent many, many times. If the child is watching something that they shouldn't be watching, that's not YouTube's fault. That's not the creator's fault. That's my fault for allowing it to happen. And I think we do need to look at it that way. But unfortunately, in this world, we can't look at it.
Well, the other
that way.
problem is that I call it COPPA, but it's COPPA, whatever. It was written before the internet was really the internet. It was
Right.
written in the 90s, like when the internet was just a thing and nobody even knew what the internet was. So it's insanely outdated as well. Just I don't know. It's unfortunate, but the only thing we can do is sit and wait.
Yep.
And someone mentioned, someone's mentioned something about AdSense. If you're doing YouTube right, AdSense should never be like your number one source of income. So
Yeah.
it really, like, even if I took like a 70% hit, I could still manage. So
Yeah, and that's we were talking earlier. Well, I was talking earlier about people asking me, "Are you ever going to go full time?" I will not rely on AdSense revenue to feed my family, and I will not do that. And I don't have that other thing like Aquarium Co-op or Steenfott Aquatics or Dustin's Fish Tanks. I don't have that other thing that's generating an income right now. That thing for me is my furniture business. So even if AdSense revenue got up to being double what I'm making with my full-time job, I still wouldn't leave my full-time job because stuff like this, like we're talking about right now. And again, sorry for calling you Scott. I don't know what my brain is doing to me
What
tonight.
did you just call him Colton?
No, I said sorry for calling him Scott. Colton. What? What are you talking
I
about?
thought you said Colton. I'm sorry for calling you Scott.
No, I don't know. But I don't even know what I was going there. I don't know where I was going. But even if I was making double with AdSense, I would not quit because stuff like this, it happens. The apocalypse happened. There were a lot of people that got sunk by that. It's just, I wouldn't be able to sleep at night knowing that my livelihood is in the hands of people that kind of rush to decisions sometimes. So, yeah, there you go. Raphael Buller asked, honest question. You're laughing at me again. Hashtag how dare you, Bad Bob. Honest question. Not sure you're into shrimps, cherry, yellow, blue, all together. Interbreeding. Any consequences? Give me personal opinion. I do not have any shrimps at the moment, but Bob, I know you do. So why don't you answer that?
The problem is that I was not paying attention to a single thing you just said.
How dare you?
Now I'm trying to.
I'll read it for you again. Not sure you're into shrimps, cherry, yellow, blue, all together. Interbreeding, any consequences? Give me personal opinion, and personal is all caps, so you know the guy is serious.
Is he talking about mixing?
Are you with me here, Bob? Did you hear?
No, because I'm reading a super chat that you missed because I thought that's what you were talking about.
That is what I'm talking about. From Raphael Buller, I believe is how you pronounce it.
How far back are you?
I'm going to read it for the third time. It's pretty far back. Honest question. Not sure if you're into shrimps. Cherry, yellow, blue, all together. All right. Let me make this easy for you, Bob. What's your opinion on mixing shrimp?
Explain it to me like I'm a 5-year-old.
Okay. Listen here. Okay. So sit here and listen very carefully. Mixing shrimp, you put yellow, red, and blue together and they interbreed and you get a bunch of purple ones. How do you feel about that? Give me your opinion. God, what's wrong with you?
You'll get a bunch of brown ones. So you'll get colors for a long time, but eventually, most likely they turn brown, which is their natural color in the wild.
I wasn't asking what color are they going to be. How do you feel about it? It's only 6:30 there. You're not this tired, Bob. Answer the question.
Well, it looks sweet. Like, Lucas calls it the Skittles tank. It's a fun tank if you mix all your colors together. So I have no hard feelings either way. If you want to do it, do it. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. I've done it, and I think it looks cool.
I have not done it, but I can just tell you instinctively what my opinion is. I'm not confused. I can answer your question right away. I'm not like this idiot sitting in Seattle. If you are...
Well, it's legal here. Come on, cut me some slack.
All Bob and I do is break each other's balls, folks. You have to understand. This is a normal thing for us. Unless you are considering breeding shrimp to sell them, you wouldn't want to probably do that. You'd want to keep them separated and breed them and sell people blue ones and yellow ones. If you're doing it for fun and you're just going to put them all in there and see what happens, there's nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. I bought some reds, yellows, and blue. I was just wondering about consequences, hence my question. I mean, is there consequences to that? I mean, as long as they're the same type of shrimp and they just are different colors, that doesn't matter, right?
They don't even have to be the same type.
Okay. There you go. There's your answer. If it's not a big deal to you, it shouldn't be a big deal to anyone, Raphael.
Yep.
And sorry to take so long to answer your question.
Yeah, I wish we had a better host that could speed this along faster.
I'm telling you, the guy is completely worthless. How dare you? You'll never be on my stream again. I'm just looking for excuses.
Hey, as long as you don't disappear for 2 years again, that's all I'm worried about.
It wasn't quite 2 years. Yeah, and it was you that drove me over the edge and made me quit last time. I just couldn't take it anymore after you were a guest. And y'all see why, right? I mean, Bob was a guest, and I couldn't take it anymore. I had to get out.
I'm telling you, I ruin YouTubers. That's what I do.
I can't find this super chat. The weird thing is, you know how when you can open up
Do you want me to read it?
Is it from Ty Smith?
Yep.
Yeah, go ahead.
How well do Synodontis, or I can never pronounce this word. I call it Euruptis, work in a group in an African cichlid tank? I have peacocks, haps, and imbunas with 0 issues. So he's wanting to add some Synodontis Euruptis or something like that.
That's the Tanganyikan, right? Because I've never kept those. Ty Smith, and I just finally found it. Do you show your fish on YouTube? Because there are certain people that would give you crap about that. I'm just telling you. So
They are. I got a lot of crap too.
if you don't want any crap, then don't do it. But again, the whole argument, and it seems like we're going to talk about this every single week, but the whole argument is the water parameters are different. What they require is different and all this kind of stuff. And I'm sorry, it's just not true, because unless you're buying wild caught, you're buying fish that were raised in a farm and they were raised with all of the other fish. So they're not requiring the water parameters of Lake Tanganyika, and your haps and peacocks and imbunas are requiring the water parameters of Lake Malawi. So most likely it is something that would work for you. But I personally probably wouldn't do it. But that's just me. I mean, I'm not a huge Synodontis guy.
He's asking about the catfish though, not about mixing.
He was asking about mixing the Synodontis catfish with Malawian cichlids, right?
Yeah, so it sounds like he's already got a tank that's mixed, and he wants to add the Synodontis.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. I'm not a huge fan of that, but that doesn't mean it.
What do you got
can't be
against
done.
Synodontis?
What?
Why don't you like Synodontis catfish?
It's not that I don't like them. It's like the same reason why I don't have a flower horn. It's just I'm just not interested in getting one. It's not that I don't like them, like you don't like.
I'm going to
chihuahuas.
send you some.
Well, if you sent them to me, I would like them because you're
It'd
my
be
friend.
special.
Even though you're mean to me and you hurt my feelings all the time, you're my friend, and I would love them and I would cherish them and I would put them in this tank right here and mix them, and then Ty Smith would feel better about it because he would see them in there. If you have them, they're too small to go in that tank, right? Do you have some?
Man, I have 3 different species.
And how big are they?
I have Synodontis brashardi, which are probably like 7 inches, maybe.
You have them 7 inches now, or they will
Yeah.
get to 7 inches?
No, they're 7 inches now.
You have them on your
But
website?
I'm not sending you any of them.
Oh, I mean, I figured if they were for sale, they were smaller. I don't know what your problem is tonight. You were just confusing me. I'm caught up on the super chats, right? I'm asking my guest if I'm...
No.
because Palmer came through again, and he has a question for you. This super chat is for you. What are your struggles right now you're trying to fix better? Because he's starting his own thing too, so he wants to know. I'll put that up on the screen.
The big thing is basically time management. If you're good at time management, then that's usually where most people struggle. As far as what my struggles are right now, after tonight, my biggest struggle is going to be getting tanks because the $1 per gallon sale is over tonight. So while I do get tanks at wholesale now, they're not as cheap as $1 per gallon, which is crazy, but that will be my biggest struggle.
Do you have somebody that you can buy them from? Well, wholesale's never really... You don't really get anything. Like, you don't make money on tanks anyway. So I was going to
No, but I mean tanks to like grow like my fish room.
Well, I know you're talking about buying more tanks. And what I'm saying is if you're buying them wholesale, it's not like you're going to save a ton of money. You could actually get them cheaper than wholesale, buying them $1 a gallon. Just wait for the next one.
Exactly. So the only tanks that I could get at the same price are 10 gallons. 10-gallon tanks at the wholesale are $10. The 20 gallons are $24. And then once you hit 40 and above, it just gets ridiculously expensive. They're definitely not $50 like they are at Petco or whatever.
Right. Aquariums maintained by Andy came through, and Palmer didn't ask me, so I'm not even going to answer that because I'm struggling. I'm struggling big time, actually, but I'm not having the kind of struggles you are. And nobody wants to hear about my struggles. Everybody hates me. Everybody loves Bob. They want to know about his struggles. Aquarium's
I
maintained...
care about your struggles. Not enough to fix them or help, but I do care.
Aquarium's maintained by Andy says, for the chirps. Not sure what that means, but I appreciate it very much. What is the chirps? What is that? Why do I not get... Bob, help me here.
Zach's calling you out. Didn't you just do a stream about how dollar per gallon wasn't worth it and it's cheaper to buy a kit? I don't think that's really in relation to what we're talking about, though.
Who said that to me?
Zach.
From
the Zach Attack.
SC Fish Keeping? I don't see him in here.
Zach
from SC Fish Keeping. Oh, that's a different Zach. Okay. Didn't you just talk about the stream about how dollar per gallon sale wasn't worth it and it's better to buy it? Yes. Okay, Zach, you're misunderstanding what I'm saying here right now. And it's probably because I was not very clear about it. If I am a retailer like Bob is, and I am able to purchase products wholesale, what that means is this product retails for $5. I can probably buy it from a wholesaler, unless you're in the fish keeping industry, for about $2.50, and then I can mark it up and I can sell it to you. And there's that 100% profit gets broken down, blah, blah, blah. It's not the same in the fish industry, and it's definitely not the same in the aquarium, the glass box industry. If you buy a 10-gallon aquarium, like Bob was just saying, wholesale, you're still paying $10 for it. So that's why I was saying it's not going to benefit him. This cat. It's not going to benefit him to go to his wholesaler to buy the tanks because he's not going to save any money. But what I was saying in that stream, yes, it's not worth it. It makes more economic sense to buy a starter kit than it does to buy a tank and all of the individual items. I hope that's more clear, or maybe I just confused you even more. I don't know. Is there a cat being strangled? No, it sounds like the cat's being strangled, but it's not.
Sounds like they're fighting or something. I don't know.
Sounds like a dying rabbit. She's a drama cat. Lisa's trying to get her to calm down now.
This is why dogs are better. You don't hear my dogs in the background.
Yeah, you heard my dogs earlier. Go ahead, say what you're going to say about chihuahuas.
I wasn't going to say anything.
Oh, that's good. Who's a bigger mad lad, Bob or John? I need a definition of what a mad lad is.
I was going to say John is, because I don't even know what that is.
Yes, so it must be me. Yeah. You guys kill me talking about tank prices. A 25-gallon here is over $100. Used 55 and up requires a mortgage. Wow. Yeah, I mean, I don't really know what to say about that. How much would it cost to send 125 to UK from the USA? Not enough to make it worth it, I bet you.
Thousands, probably.
Yeah, that's, not enough to make it worth it. What does Bob think about starter kits?
So I think, because what are they, like 50% off during the dollar per gallon sale? I know they're always 50% off at PetSmart regardless. Well, not always, but they go on sale a lot. Oh, dang it. I just spilled my drink everywhere. I think they're a good value for people that are new to the hobby, but myself, personally, I would never buy one because I'd have to replace the light anyways. So the lights are always junk, especially, I don't want to badmouth any of your sponsors, so I won't say anything bad about Marine
I don't have
Land,
any sponsors. What are you talking about? Talking to me? Are you talking to me? I don't have sponsors.
Yeah, so the Marine Land LED lights are just awful in the kits, and honestly, all of the lights are awful in the kits. So it doesn't make sense for me to buy the kit because I would replace everything anyways. But I think, like I said, for people new to the hobby, they're a good value when they're on sale.
I wish I had sponsors. I really do. I really wish I did, because then, we'd be having a different conversation as far as that money outside of YouTube. Anyway.
Yeah, you'd be wearing a Marine Land hat, a Marine Land polo. You'd have Fluval stickers in the back.
Daggone
like
right,
I
would.
Race car driver.
I mean,
NASCAR.
All day long, I would do it now. I mean, anyway. what you said is kind of exactly what I was saying when I did that whole thing on the stream. This is a great way for a beginner fish keeper to get into the hobby, is to buy one of those kits. I wasn't saying that the equipment that comes in those kits is stellar and it's the best ever, although we have bought some in the past and they were marine land, and all of the equipment that came with it lasted for a very, very long time. So it's not.
Hey, I'm not saying the lights wouldn't last. I'm just saying they're junk. They're junk as far as like the how bright they are. And
yeah, they might not grow plants, but to get somebody into the hobby, and it's not even up for debate. It's cheaper to buy the kit than it is to buy it all separate. That's a fact. So that's not my opinion there. That is a fact that I was sharing with the people. And I even proved it. That's right. So I'm going to drop this one. It's just not going to fall. But if you're somebody coming into this hobby, we need you to get into this hobby as cheap as possible, because if you spend a ton of money and then your fish die, you're going to be super pissed and you're going to sell it all on Craigslist, and it's just going to be a huge disaster. So that's what I say about that. Oh boy. See, Palmer's trying to get me in trouble now and he's just throwing a bunch of money at me tonight. It's a beautiful thing. I appreciate it very much, but he's trying to get me in trouble because he knows I'm going to say I love the Kessel lights, and he knows that that's going to make people hate me. But I am not. Have you read?
You can't say Kessel. You can't.
Well, he said on the cheap, so yeah, you can't say Kessel. Is the Fluval cheap? It's not.
No.
So, I mean, that's the planted tank lights that I have experience with, is those two. I haven't bought any cheap planted tank lights, so I'm not the guy to ask that, but Bob has.
You know, I was actually thinking about this the other day. So first of all, like I like the Aquaneat lights, the eBay special Aquaneats. Night Crew is another good one, but they get way too hot for my taste. I have two of them now, and like they get super hot. I like the Night Crew, but I'm looking at these like LED lights, like the Fluvals, and I'm wondering if it's almost cheaper to go back to fluorescent at this point, because a lot of these LED lights are running like 40, 50 watts now, and you can get like a couple, maybe 14-watt bulbs, and you're going to be running less power. And I haven't done any like comparisons at all. It's just something I was thinking about while I was tied up. But anyways, I would say Night Crew.
Keep this G rated, Bob, for crying out loud. That went right over your head, didn't it? It went right over your head.
I wasn't gonna go any farther into it because we're not on my channel, so I feel bad.
So Aquarium's maintained. What was it? Maintained by Andy. Cleared it up. He gave that super chat for the chirps, and then he just qualified or clarified what chirps equals smack talk. Bob and I are good at that, and
See, I keep hearing these like beeps in the background, and I keep looking at my phones, and like it's like a notification sound. So I thought maybe they were.
You know what? That might be coming through my microphone, and it is my software. It's an ever so slight beep every time somebody puts something in the chat. So it's probably that, because it's driving me crazy too. Raphael Buller again with the $5 euro, whatever it is. Sorry, but the whole sponsorship thing sounds like the world's oldest profession. Please don't take it wrong. No, I certainly wouldn't take that wrong. I understand how people feel about it. I think that you almost have to get used to it though, because it's coming. And I don't think that it should be looked at in a negative way, because if you think about the world we live in, think about every actor, every athlete, good Lord, the athletes, musicians, every creative type person or athletic person, they're filled with sponsors everywhere. It just is what it is. And we don't label those people as whores, right? I mean, if you could play basketball better than anybody in the world, you'd be taking your 900 mil from Nike too. So would I. And I mean, we all would. So it's, I don't know. I mean, I think that there is one of those things like, if I sit here and crapped on a brand forever, like it's the worst brand ever, Bob, you're not afraid to say it. What is a brand that you hate? Don't you dare say the FX6. I will kick you right off of here. What brand do you hate? You don't want to do it? That's fine. I don't know. I understand.
If we were on my stream, I would.
Okay. If I was trashing a brand nonstop, just saying it's the worst.
I just said I hate Marineland LED lights, but
all of their, well, yeah, you did. How dare you? And then all of a sudden, I'm the biggest fan in the world, and that company is paying me to endorse their product. That I can understand you saying somebody hoard themselves out. But like right now, anybody that knows me, anyone that knows me, if I was to all of a sudden have a sponsorship or an endorsement deal from Fluval, would that surprise you? I mean, I have raved on Fluval my entire YouTube career, if you want to call it that. It's always been a brand that I've been attached to and I've absolutely loved. So that wouldn't surprise you at all. But if all of a sudden I started saying Fluval is the worst and Aquarium is the best, and oh, by the way, Aquarium is a sponsor of the channel, you would look at that as garbage. So yeah, it depends on how it's done, but it's not always a bad thing. Chris Gallagher comes in and says, you can buy an 8500K lights 12x6 from Wish for $6. Hey, stuff from Wish though, you never know.
Yeah, see, buying stuff from Wish, to me, that's like going back to when we were kids, having to wait 8 weeks for our thing to come in the mail.
Fish Tank Barn, question for each of you. What is your favorite African cichlid? Bob,
Cyprichromis.
Okay, that's fine. Jason has a lot of those. Are you breeding yours? Are you breeding your sips? I know Jason
was years and years ago. Now I only breed the blue neon Paracyprichromis.
Okay.
And as far as what you said earlier about water parameters, I am breeding those in Seattle tap water. No, nothing special added. No additives, no nothing. Seattle tap water, Lake Tanganyika fish, breeding just fine.
See that? Thank you. Thank you for making my point for me. We've got 9 discus in a 125-gallon tank from Discus Hans. They're in a pH right now of 7.6. I don't know the GH and KH because I don't even own a test kit for that, and I've never tested for that. Criticize me all you want. That's fine. Those fish are doing perfectly fine, and they'll probably breed in there, and we will not do anything with it because but every rule book will tell you that you should have discus in super soft water with a 6 pH and all that. No, it's not true. My favorite.
When I first got back into the hobby a long time ago, we had a really, really good fish breeder, and he did a lot of Africans. And the advice he gave me was a stable pH is way more important than the correct pH. And that's always stuck with me because this guy was breeding stuff from all over the world with our water with no problem at all. And so that's kind of what I've always gone by.
Very good. And for me to answer Mike's question, it's actually unfortunate what my answer of his question is going to be because I don't have the scientific name for this fish. I could look it up, but I'm not going to. It's new. It used to be the champ, now I can't even think of it because it's 10 o'clock at night and I'm tired. The trout cichlid. I use common names. I don't have the encyclopedia brain.
I used to love that fish.
It used to be my favorite, and it has been overtaken now by the Rostratus. It is right. Trying to point to him. Right there. See him? Right there. Right there. Right there. No, that's not him. It's hard to do that on camera. That is my new favorite African cichlid. I absolutely adore that fish. I do not know the scientific name of it. Maybe I should have looked that up before I answered your question, but I didn't want to be disrespectful and not be listening to Bob's answer. Palmer Aquatics, that's $20 now.
What?
He said, what? Are you guys building other YouTube channels? Aquarium niche getting boring? Question mark. If yes, how is growth subs? I'm not. I know, Bob, you've got like 18 channels.
I do, but I don't concentrate on growing them. I have a couple that just grow um, without, any type of promotion or anything like that. And they're not aquarium related. Obviously, there's my gaming channel, but I don't care about growing that one at all. That's not what I'm talking about.
I used to have a vaping channel that was growing quite nicely, and it's still growing now, which is weird. I haven't put out a video on that channel in 2 years. And I really enjoyed that channel. It was a lot of fun because I didn't have to be creative at all. Somebody would send me a product, I would do a review on it, and the video was done. It was like the videos would write themselves. I enjoyed it very much. If you're not a vapor, Bob, go ahead and insert whatever jokes you want. If you're not a vapor, you wouldn't know this, but the industry was hit big time back in August of 2017 or 16. And basically the industry just went and nobody wanted to send me products anymore. And I didn't have the money to buy anymore. So I stopped making videos on that channel. And, and that's the only one. I mean, I don't have any other channels that I'm trying to grow. I don't believe the aquarium niche is getting boring. I tried personally to remedy that by trying to mix things up and do things differently. It's very hard. It's with the amount of time that I have and all of that. It's very difficult to be able to do what I truly want to do. An example, we went to a paintball facility today and I wasn't able to participate because I'm an old man and I didn't want to break anything. But the kid and 9 friends went to this paintball place today. And I was sitting there talking to Marie and I said, it would be so cool if I had a drone right now. If I had a drone right now, I would totally fly it up and I would film them doing the paintball. And those idiots would probably try to shoot the drone.
I was just thinking, like, I would be the guy sitting down there.
Yeah, I mean, but I'd just put it way, way up. And I would include that in one of my fish keeping videos. I would do it because I am trying to mix things up and trying to do things differently. I would just stick that in somehow and try to use it as like a transition or something. I desperately want to do that with my channel, things different to keep this channel exciting. I hope that makes sense. Palmer, because his name's not Palmer. I keep calling him Palmer, but it's because for some reason I want to call him Scott, and I don't know why.
It's Scott Palmer. Get it right.
But
you know what you could do? Okay, so you go out and you get yourself a drone, and you can have it follow you around, and you could like just plant it right in the middle of your garage. It'll just spin around and follow you and film you, and that would be it would be an expensive way to film, but it would be pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't know that I would do that, but I know, like, for me, I had so much fun. Jimmy sent me a clip from Aquashella that he did of the exterior of the building. He did like a flyover, and I used it in my Aquashella video, and it's just so cool to be able to incorporate little things like that. And if I'm doing a video here in the fish room, I'm not quite sure how I would incorporate drone footage. Like, unless it's like you were saying, like in here, but I'd be too afraid to do it. We got lights and garage door triacs.
I tried it once and I crashed it and I crashed it into the wall.
See, I couldn't do that. I'd be too afraid of that. And I live 30 yards from a military base, so I don't know how much drone flying I can do around my house.
Ooh, I bet it would be fun to try out though.
Yeah, I'm not trying to get in trouble, but anyway, that's how I keep it interesting, is by trying to do things different. I know my videos really haven't been any different than anyone else's, but I'm trying to do little things. I think my Aquashella video was different than anyone else's. Not that anyone else's was bad, but I think mine was different, and I am very proud of that. But that to me is almost what has to happen in the fish keeping niche. I say niche, you might say niche, whatever, it doesn't matter. I think that it has to be different. Things have to be different. Bob, you and I had this conversation for 2 hours on the phone one day. I just feel like it has to be different to keep this thing going. Two cents?
For me, the thing is like I've set the bar so low that it makes it real easy for me to do new things. So I don't have to worry about that for a while.
Well, it is very difficult to do things differently because, I mean, you're talking about fish. So, I mean, B-roll is one of the ways. Nobody can B-roll like Jimmy can, which really frustrates me because I want to be able to do it so bad. But I don't know. KG Tropicals, have you ever went on any live fish collecting trips to other countries and brought you wild caught fish home? No. I was very honored at the Aquatic Experience. Project Piaba was doing a thing that you recorded a little thing for them, and they were going to have a winner, and the winner of that goes on a trip with them collecting down in Peru. And I didn't do it because I don't know enough about Project Piaba to talk about it, but Corey did. And he said if he won, he would take me with him. And I was like, oh, that's so adorable.
Well, you know who won, right?
Alex won. And I'm great. I'm super happy for him. That's awesome.
Yeah, conspiracy.
Yeah. But I would have loved to have seen Rack won. But anyway, yeah, it's awesome.
I'm saying the guy that works for the Discovery Channel just happened to win.
Alex is a good dude. I like that guy a lot. And he's brilliant when it comes to making videos. But Rack's my guy. We all know that. So that was going to be my opportunity to be able to do that. Cause I was like, oh man, well, I'm going then. If Corey's going to take me, I might as well consider myself going because they'd be crazy not to pick Corey. But they picked Alex and that's cool. I'm super happy for Alex. I think they picked a good one. I don't think they picked it. I don't think they drew it up from a hat or whatever, but, he's going to do some amazing things down there with video footage and all that. So I think that's going to be really cool. But I have not done
sliders
that.
To carry around.
Yeah. I have not done that. That'd be a great place for some drones. And honestly, I'm so...
Could find all the poppy fields.
Every single time Corey travels, and he travels, all the time, he always gets ill. And that terrifies me. That was one of the first things.
Who was that? I was just talking to someone about this the other day. Was that you? I don't remember, but I was like, anytime Corey leaves the country, he comes back super sick.
I know.
I'm like, I don't want to leave the country.
That was one of the first things I thought of when he said, yeah, I chose you. I would take you with me. I was like, don't they call it Amazon diarrhea or whatever they call that? I was like, immediately that was my thought. Like, oh no, of course I would go. But yeah, I haven't done that. But I would like to. I think it'd be a lot of fun. I would love to see an arowana in the wild. I would not take it, but I would love to see an arowana in the wild. $5 from Red Raven. Do you think the hobby is getting snobby with people competing with on and others on what is cooler to have? That's interesting. It's a little shaky there at the end, but I feel like I'm going to need to process that for a minute before I answer it. What do you think, Bob?
I'm going to say, for me, no, because I couldn't even tell you what other fish people keep. So I don't pay attention enough to what other people have.
And I'm wondering who is snobby, though. Like, I mean, there might be people that look at me and think I'm snobby. I hope not, because I'm the furthest from that. But yeah, I don't know. I think, oh, that's tough. I don't think there's a lot of snobbiness in it. Competing, I think there is some of that on YouTube particularly. It's not from me, but I think that there are some YouTubers that compete with others. They base their success on what other people are doing. And then they get mad about it. But I don't know. I mean, to me, this hobby's getting better. I really do believe that. I mean, I think that what all of us are doing doesn't have anything to do with me, with the cumulative effect of everyone and what they're doing on YouTube. I think it's making the hobby better, and Instagram and Facebook and all of that other stuff. So I don't think it's getting snobby. I don't know. And I do watch a lot of people. I do. I'm not cruel and mean like Bob. I try to support.
Nope, I don't. I work with fish all day. I film fish all day. I edit fish all day. When I sit down to relax and watch YouTube, I want to watch something besides fish.
That is
Shoot me in the face. I don't know. That's just the way it is.
It's a good point. You do have to separate from it, and you work with fish more than I do. It's a good point. I mean, because you can get burnt out. And it is difficult if you are watching other YouTubers nonstop all day. You can start to feel competitive, and there can be jealousy and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, you do have to be careful with it. But I do watch a lot of smaller. I didn't say smaller channels. I didn't mean to say that. Other YouTube channels, bigger than mine, smaller than mine. It doesn't matter.
Too late now. You said smaller.
And a lot of times, I put videos on while I'm driving, and I just listen to them. Like a lot of live streams and stuff like that, I listen to them. I listen to you all the time, Bob. I was listening to you the other day. I don't even remember what day it was. So,
what was I talking about?
I don't remember.
Oh yeah, you were listening.
You were griping about something. What was my video?
Anyone could say that about any time and be right. So that doesn't count either.
That's true. Okay, it wasn't the other day. It was a couple of weeks ago. I mean, come on, give me a break here. I'm being nice, bringing you on my live stream, and you're just going to be mean like that. King and Queen Cichlids, word up. I'm down for that. Marvel baby. Yeah, Oscar asked me something about. I don't know if I can find that. What did you ask me, Oscar, about something about like would you ever do a comic/movie live chat? Oh, I would love to. But, that's one of those things that another channel would have to be started, because if you do that here.
Oh, people get angry.
I'm telling you. You saw how it was right off the bat when we started. Yeah. Are we going to talk about fish or what? It happens. I mean, people were paying $10 to say that. So it would have to be on another channel. And I don't know that I have the energy to start all over again somewhere. My time is pushed so hard already, so far already, and so thin already between the two jobs that I just don't know that I'd be able to do it. So I would love to, though, because, boy, I could talk about that all day. You know how long I could sit here and talk about Rorschach, Walter Kovacs? You know how long I could talk about him all day, right? I mean, yeah, I could do it. And I think my knowledge is enough to where I could probably hang. But
do you watch John Ryan?
No, but I watched Jack Ryan.
Yeah, that's what I meant, Jack Ryan.
Yeah.
Not his cousin John, but Jack Ryan.
John Krasinski is one of those guys. I don't care what he's in. I will watch every single second of it.
So what do you think about season 2 there?
I watched the entire thing in one day.
So did I, but I still have some gripes.
Like so many series, not as good as the first season. I thought the first season was spectacular.
Yeah, so good.
I enjoyed it, though. I mean, but I have a bias because I'm so infatuated with John Krasinski. I love that guy. And I think he is the perfect Jack Ryan. I think that, second only to Harrison Ford. I mean, he's awesome. I liked it. I don't. Okay. The problem that I had with it was how easily accessible the president was. You know what I mean? Like at the end, we can't spoil things for people, but at the end, they're just like in his office. And
well, now you just spoiled it.
Well, I didn't tell you what happened though. But yeah, that bothered me a little bit, but I liked it. I enjoyed it. I watched the whole thing. What about you?
I don't want to say my gripes because it is well, it's not really a spoiler, so I'll say it. Plus, it's on your channel, so you'll get yelled at. My issue was with the guy trying to kill John Krasinski. And when he got, he get stabbed in the leg, and then he got stabbed in the brain.
Right.
And yet, he has no depth perception now, and he's got a leg wound, and he's doing, like, parkour through the streets of London. He's still, like, just a accurate
superhero
sniper from a mile away. I'm like,
yep.
like I could run this dude down. Like,
Right.
there's no way you take a knife through the eyeball into the brain, and then you take another knife in the leg, and you're still like the top sniper in the world. Like, that's the only issue I had with the whole series.
Yeah. Okay. That didn't bother
I
me
know
when I was
you're
watching
supposed to like suspend belief, and it's Hollywood, but
it,
come
especially
on.
when we're talking about Jack Ryan.
That was just way too much for me.
You know who that actor was, right? Are you a Game of Thrones watcher?
Nope, never seen it.
Okay. Well, he was in Game of Thrones. It was one of
Oh,
those
that would
things.
explain why I was so dumb then.
It was one of those things where I kept seeing him, and I was like, God, I know that guy from somewhere. I couldn't place it, but he was from Game of Thrones. Yeah, I liked Jack Ryan a lot because I like.
Did you watch the movie that Krasinski did with Matt Damon? I can't remember, but it had to do with like natural oil drilling, and he actually played the bad guy in that movie. And I was like, hey, that's a pretty cool
Promised
twist.
Land. Promised Land.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched that.
I thought it was pretty cool to see him play the bad guy for once.
Very good. What about Quiet Place?
I haven't seen that one, so I
Oh
can't.
my Lord, do yourself a favor. Fantastic. And he's with his wife in that movie, which is great. Raphael Buller again. He just keeps throwing us 5 pounds over and over and over again. Come on, guys. You're losing yourself in quote unquote personal thoughts. Let's talk about the best guitarists. Maybe not. That's cute. I told you who my favorite guitarists are. I mean, I told you Satriani. I told you Steve Vai. I told you Yngwie Malmsteen. I would throw Eddie in there. I would throw Dave Navarro in there. Controversial as it may be. I love Dave Navarro. Vernon Reid, I like a lot. There's a lot. I mean, there's a lot of guitarists I love. If I had to pick a favorite, it would be Joe Satriani, though, all day long. Bob, thoughts?
I'm still going with Prince. I think like hearing some of his solos and knowing that he taught himself how to play that well, I think is pretty amazing.
You're only going Prince because I was talking about him earlier,
I was the one that brought him up, and he's
a great guitar player.
He has my favorite all-time like guitar solo is from Prince. So
Okay, that's fine. I'll give it to you. That's good. Do you think the hobby is as big as it ever has been? And do you think it's growing? I think it's definitely growing. I think social media has a lot to do with that. And I do think it's as big as it's ever been. And it's going to continue getting bigger.
I agree.
John, do you have Venustus cichlid in your tank? I'm getting a mail on Wednesday. I'm going to call it John. I do not have a Venustus at the moment. I've got a large Livingstoni that a lot of people from a distance, he's getting ready to come right here, right there. A lot of people see him from a distance and they mistake him for a Livingstoni, for a Venustus. But he is in fact a Livingstoni. I do not have one in that tank right now. Okay, so
How much longer are you wanting to go?
I don't know.
'Cause if we're going much longer, I got a break to take the dogs out for a couple minutes.
we can shut down whenever you want.
Well, I'm just saying
Rorschach-
if we're not going to shut down soon, then I'm just going to take a quick break and let you entertain the crowd.
Rorschach is a wasted character that is based on snappy one-liners. How dare you? Rorschach is
I don't
dead.
even know who that is.
Rorschach, come on, Bob, get with it. Read Watchmen. Well, yeah, I mean, we can start to shut things down. Super chat $2 from Multi-Tank Addiction. I'm trying to change it up to keep it fresh. Yeah, I'm assuming he's talking about when I was saying we got to do things differently. Doing things differently is extremely difficult to do. I'm trying to do that now. It's very difficult, but, you know. Oscar is a Walking Dead guy. I like Walking Dead too.
The first 3 seasons.
Even still, I like it. I was a Shane guy. And we know what happened to him, and I still like it. So, Bob, do you have a Tegu?
I do have a Tegu. Easy question.
Good explanation there. Way to go expanding on that. Good job.
Hey, it was a yes or no question. Yes, I do.
KG Cichlids just says, #Slipknot. I like Slipknot. Not sure where that was going, though. just see. Walking Dead, OMG, love it. Yes, thought so. Okay, we're going to get down here. John Frusciante. Super chat $5 from Melissa Jeswald because I talk too much. That's adorable. King and Queens came in again with $10. Okay, I got a cold, took some meds, and thought John's voice would send me to sleep. LOL, but Bob kept it fun and real. That's just not fair.
All right, you got some pretty big super chats coming, so you handle those. I'll be right back because I don't want my dogs to have an accident in the house.
Okay,
I'll be right
that's
back.
fine. That's fine. Go ahead. I'll take you off. We'll just put me on here by myself for now. And yeah, we'll keep on working our way down through here. Let's see. Oh, and by the way, I hope you feel better, Scott. If you're still around, you probably aren't, but I hope you feel better. I was skimming through Facebook today. Again, I rarely do that. I saw that you were not feeling well. I didn't comment on it because I don't comment on Facebook. But if Rorschach is wasted, Superman is wasted 10 times as bad. Dave's Aquariums, you and I could be good friends. Not that, I'm a Rorschach guy. I love Rorschach. So I'm not doing nothing. I'll sit here as long as y'all want to talk. That's awesome. How dare you shut the stream down? I love this hashtag how dare you thing. That's going to have to be what we send Lisa. No, what? That's what we're going to have to send people to Rack's live stream with next week. Hashtag how dare you. Who let the dogs out? Bob, 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 Bob. Love it. Multi-tank addiction again. Try taking a phone call live on stream. You've taken a call from me live on stream. That's something that I could do on here, but I don't want to. No offense, Chris. I think it's awesome, but I was actually telling Bob when we decided we were going to do this today, because this is not supposed to be happening tonight. I told you last week we're going to do this every couple of weeks. Every 2 weeks we're going to do this. And then I just told Lisa yesterday, I said, no, you know what? I'm going to stream tomorrow. And who should I ask? She said, Bob. I said, okay, let's go. We were talking about Skype calling people during the stream, like surprising them with a video call. The problem is I can't figure out how to do it on my software. I know it can be done, but I think the way it needs to be done is it needs to be from the beginning, like a whole group of people all at once. I don't think I can add somebody to the chat while we're moving. I don't think. But good Lord, Chad Kratz comes in with the $50. Horseshack wasn't that great a character. I don't know how he keeps coming up in live streams.
Well, it sounds like we have an issue with the sound now, just FYI.
Oh.
Everyone's saying it's sounding like Tron and reverb.
I wonder, I think I
Might
know
want to
why
go back
that
to
was.
2 screens.
I think I know why that was. I think it was because I put it on me, and that messed something up. Sorry about that, folks. But let's see who messaged me on Facebook to tell me the sound was bad. It was Candy.
Now they're saying it's fixed.
Yeah.
So
sorry about that. That was my fault. Was it an echo? Yeah, it was an echo, wasn't it? So Chad, I think you're confused with who we're talking about, because Horseshack was definitely a character on Welcome Back, Kotter, and that's not who we're talking about. If you say Rorschach, Walter Kovacs wasn't a great character, I'm going to say to you, my friend, hashtag how dare you. Okay. Whoa, somebody said Nickelback. Am I weird for liking Nickelback songs?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you're not only weird, you're a little less intelligent.
Yeah, sorry about the audio thing, folks. Yeah, $1.99 from KG Sickles. He says, Bob has to poop, not the dogs. That's funny. There might have been a lot of people that wanted to say echo in the chat, but it's not in there because I actually did put that in as one of the banned words. I swear to you I did.
Phonetically.
I swear I did. Let's see.
There, you just got to do it like that. Now everyone knows.
OMG, I just woke back up. Sounds like Tron in here. Okay, so I'm way behind. Yeah. Let's see. Fish Tank Barn, $2. Go back to 2 screens, John. Echo, echo. I guess it gets through if you attach it to money, because I did make it a banned word. It was bothering me to my soul. I'm telling you, it was bothering me so bad. I was losing sleep with the echo thing. And then you were breaking my balls.
He was calling me at all hours of the night, like asking how I could help.
Oh.
So I had to sing him to sleep a couple times. It was brutal.
You were making fun of me in your live stream, and it hurt my feelings. And
it doesn't sound like something I would do. That's slanderous.
Yeah, if you folks only knew, if you remember the fact that last week Lisa's audio was gone, and we had to change things up, and she sat over here with me. I finally fixed that afterwards, and I tried explaining it to Bob, and Bob was like, I don't know. I mean, it was like, it's so weird why that was happening and what I had to do to fix it. But I promise you this, it will be good next Thursday when Lisa and I are on here together. It'll be good. There will be no echo, and there will be no Lisa sitting here next to me apparently being mean to her. Red Hot Chili Peppers. Nickelback sucks. Nickelback sus. I think he meant sucks. KG Cichlids, LMAO. Nickelback sucks. Bob says
do you want to know why I don't like Nickelback?
Because
I don't like Nickelback.
Jerk?
Huh?
Because Chad Kroger's a jerk?
Well, yeah, he's an idiot, but the fact that they only do it for the money. Like, they came out, they straight up said, we only make music for the money. They don't care about music. They don't care about the art. They only do it for money. That's why all their songs sound the same. They use the same 4 chords in every single song. But, yeah, no respect. I just don't respect them.
You're a chord snob? You're a chord snob, really?
Yep.
I'm not saying that I am going to run out and buy their entire catalog. I've never purchased.
Probably because you already own it.
Shut up. I've never contributed financially to Nickelback whatsoever. I'm just saying that Photograph song.
You're contributing right now as an influencer telling people that you like Nickelback. Now people are going to go listen to Nickelback.
You have to admit that Photograph song was a damn good song. You have to admit that.
I don't remember that song.
Whatever.
What is it?
Yeah, I'm going to sing to you on here.
I don't know that I could tell you one of their songs.
So people are asking, or somebody asked why that echo was happening. It was because when I switched it to one screen, the settings are different on there, and I hadn't worked out the issue, and I wasn't looking at chat. I wasn't current on chat, so I didn't see that you all were complaining about it, and I'm sorry about that. It's probably good that I didn't see it, because I would have probably lost it and been mad. But not mad at you. I would have been mad at the situation. David
This
Gilmore
stream
comfortably
sponsored by Nickelback.
David Gilmore comfortably numb, no comment. David Gilmore's a fantastic musician. I'm more of a learning to fly guy. That is my absolute #1 Pink Floyd song, and I'm probably the only person that considers Learning to Fly my favorite. Or it's just Learn to Fly, excuse me. Or is it Learning to Fly? Yeah, it's Learning to Fly because the Foo Fighters song is Learn to Fly. I love that song too. So let's see. Chord Snob Master Race. This is getting fun. So did AC/DC and Nirvana. They did. Oh, see, Chris Gallagher's bringing up a good point. Talking about the same chords over and over and over again.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm not saying that's exclusive to Nickelback. I mean, every Disturbed song sounds the same too, but at least they enjoy what they're doing, and they're not just doing it to leech money.
You know it's coming.
Well, it's true. Like, you could play me a Nickelback. You can, like, play the Nickelback songs, not Nickelback, but Disturbed songs, like, over each other. He said it again. And it's the same thing. The same thing.
He said it again. You've crossed the line, my friend. You can say whatever you want to say about Nickelback, but damn you, you will not disgrace Disturbed. I'm a Disturbed guy. And shame on you for not. Nickelback owes John $100,000. Yes, I love it. And now Disturbed does too. Come on, David Draymond. Where are you at? 100 grand. Then I'll go full time on YouTube. $2. I'm so used to Mike being $5. $2. The Fish Tank Barn, John's Nickelback Fund. I love it. That's going to be a thing now, isn't it? That John's a Nickelback fan. Listen, I'm not a Nickelback fan. I'm just saying I don't hate the music.
I remember you like in a stream like 3 years ago saying you like Nickelback, and I was like,
whatever. You're making stuff up, and thank you for that, because hopefully the people in the chat are going to go back and watch the streams to see which one it was. No, I don't hate Nickelback. I like that song Photograph. I don't even know if that's the name of the song, but I think it's the name of the song. And I like that song, and I don't care what you say about it. It is Learning to Fly. Yeah, right. Learn to Fly is the name of the book on the airplane to learn to fly, so they don't crash the plane for the Foo Fighters song. All right, Bob, I'm going to ask you a question. And I need you to think real long and hard about the answer to this question before you answer it. Are you a Foo Fighters guy?
Yeah.
Okay. We can keep going. Can you do a Goldfish Tank Mates video? I have comets, not fancies, and I want to build a community around them. I'd love to do that, but I kind of feel like the only way I'd be able to, me personally, I don't know about Bob, but the only way I'd really be able to do that would be if I had a tank of goldfish. I have 2 goldfish right now, including one that was purchased for me the other day by the lovely Lisa Marie, because I had a really bad day, and I came home and she had bought me an absolutely beautiful goldfish, Rena, which is in my office, and I love that fish. I named him Pete. His name's Pete.
Be kind to animals, folks.
I'd hit the table. I didn't hit the cat. Shut up, Rena. I would never hit the cat. Anybody who can guess why the fish's name is Pete will get a shout out. That's the only thing I have, and so I wouldn't be able to do that. Bob, goldfish, you gonna make a video about goldfish?
I don't know. I always feel weird making videos about fish that I don't have.
See,
like,
that's what
then
I'm
you
saying.
just gotta like throw up pictures, and I've never done it, and so that video is probably not gonna come from me anytime soon.
Corey's got wonderful goldfish behind him in every single live stream, so just go watch that and ask him in his stream. Rack says, how do you get Nickelback drummer off your porch? And it's got a question mark, so I don't think that's a snazzy comment. I think that's actually a question. Foo Fighters are my favorite. I have a tattoo based on one of their songs. Which song would that be? Is it Hero? I bet you it's Hero. What song do you think it is, Bob? We'll see if you're a real fan.
I have no idea.
Shame. I really love Times Like These. Now see, folks in the DC area who are Washington Nationals fans who listen to the radio would know why I really love Times Like These, but that's basically because the Nationals radio broadcast after every win, they play the song Times Like These from Foo Fighters, so I love that one. But Hero, love that one. Got a lot of favorite Foo Fighters songs.
I like the Foo Fighters, but I probably couldn't tell you a name of one of their songs.
Everlong is a great song.
Like if Nickelback comes on the radio, I'm like pushing buttons. Foo Fighters comes on the radio, I turn up the volume. So I'm not like a hardcore Foo Fighters fan, but
Disturbed needs to go away already. How dare you?
Haven't they been gone for a while though? Thankfully.
No, what? They're still touring. They're great. Oh wait, there, Bob.
Like county fairs?
What? You're such a jerk. They sound slightly different on each song. Yeah, Disturbed does. I really don't know what Bob's problem is. I don't know what he's talking about. KG Tropicals, that man, referring to you, Bob, has obviously never heard the Disturbed Sound of Silence remake. It's true. I bet you he hasn't. I bet you he hasn't heard songs like Prayer. And
remakes are lazy.
See, here's the thing. This is Bob's problem, okay? Bob is giving you his opinion on Disturbed, and the only song he's heard is Down with the Sickness. How much you want to bet? I bet you
No,
$100.
not only have I heard most of all their songs, I've also played most of their songs on guitar, and I got 100% each time on Rock Band.
Oh my God.
So I know. That's how I know they all sound the same, because they all use the same buttons on the guitar.
This conversation is over. You are hurting my heart. It's AC/DC is the greatest. Okay, here we go. Now it's time for me to start the controversy. Never was, never will be a fan of AC/DC. Not at all. I'm sorry, I'm not. I think that Bon Scott and what's his name, Brian Johnson, I think that was his name, two of the worst singers that have ever recorded music in the history of music. Boom. There it is. I don't like AC/DC, and I never have. Go ahead and hate me. Let me watch my subscribers go down. But I don't understand it. I don't understand what it is about that horrible voice that people like. There you
That's
go.
how I feel about Ozzy.
Now, see, it's not a disgrace to me to hear you say that about Ozzy, but yet it is Disturbed. What am I thinking? I like Ozzy. I've seen Ozzy 7 times. Robert Johnson, greatest guitarist. Imagine what he'd do today with electric. Best guitarists, in my opinion, are ones who can separate their voice from fingers. Yeah, Robert Johnson's legit. I don't disagree. There's so many good guitar players, so many like outrageously good guitar players, but everybody says Jimi Hendrix is the best. That's the thing that bothers me. And it's because he's dead. We all just need to be honest with ourselves. Once again, Bob is the troublemaker. Every time I look at this aquarium, it makes me laugh at how much it has to cost me. I'm pretty sure that's a Nickelback reference. You need some large fish in that compete with comets. Land of Confusion, best track ever. Land of Confusion, Bob hasn't heard it because Bob's a jerk. But Disturbed's version of Land of Confusion, dare I say, better than the Genesis version.
I've heard it. I don't like it.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry.
Foo Fighters or Nirvana. It's going to be Foo Fighters 100
No,
times out
sorry.
of 100. What?
Huh?
What'd you say?
I said I'm not really sorry. I don't like it.
I just, this software that I have shows me like a little thumb goes like this. Like, you know, when you do Facebook Live and the like thing goes across and the hearts and stuff. This one, the like thumb does that. And it also does this, and it goes down when thumbs down. And as soon as I said that about Nirvana, I got a thumbs down. There's a couple of songs from Nirvana that I like. But again, Nirvana is put up on this pedestal because that idiot killed himself. That's a fact.
You just said that you don't think he killed himself. So,
Well, because he's dead, maybe I should have said.
yeah.
I don't hate Nirvana. I hate Kurt Cobain. And you know what? You can call me a bad person for that, but I just do.
You're a bad person.
Have no respect for somebody that does what he did when he has a newborn child at home. Pete Rose, that's a different direction for this conversation.
What, are we talking about baseball now?
Apparently, Oscar wants to, and he's been very active in the chat the entire 2.5
Good.
hours
We
we've
went
been
from
going.
Disturbed to something equally as boring. Great.
Hey, oh my Lord, what? Hey, why did you ask me to have Bob on here again? I can't remember. Nirvana will always be better than Foo Fighters. I thought Hung Chao and I were good. I thought we were close. But that is blaspheme, is what that is. Solid Gold Aquatics, somebody is suggesting. Come here, you. Suggesting, I guess, for the goldfish advice. I just got goldfish, and I'm not sure if one has Popeye or if it's just regular telescope goldfish issue. But one eye is slightly bigger. That's a tough one. Pay him for the pizza. Oh, Bob, I see what he did there. I see what Rack did there. You're getting bored, aren't you, Bob? You're just sitting there.
No, I'm getting distracted by chat. Sorry, I'll take it off.
Now we're talking about Slayer. Peter from Family Guy. You'll need a spray bottle for Reno. It's hard because he's not doing anything wrong. He's just vocalizing. But I agree, the spray bottle would be a very easy way to do something like that. It's Hero. You're right. A memorial tattoo for my dad, and it had "I love you, Dad" in my dad's handwriting. Come on, Bob. That's a special thing there. I am so far behind. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and hit the scroll. I'm going to scroll all the way to where we're commenting.
Come down to the bottom with the rest of us.
Okay. I'm still fighting a cold. I'm heading to bed. Great stream, guys. We'll see you later, Mike. Thank you for being so involved. I'm just going to scroll back up here. The cat is trying to be the best. Sings almost as well as some mentioned. That's funny. Kenneth Steele, don't you ask those questions in here. Don't you dare. He's a Seattle Seahawks fan, right?
Yeah, I don't think anyone likes the Dallas Cowboys, right? I mean, there's probably like they got a pretty big bandwagon of fans, but those aren't real fans.
Troy Johnson is getting on me for the way I say Kurt. When you say it together, Kurt Cobain, it sounds like I'm saying Kirk. I know his name's Kurt. We had the same problem with Kirk Cousins here when he was the quarterback for the Redskins the last time they were good, and people would call him Kurt instead of Kirk. And so I was saying Kurt, but it's Kurt Cobain. It sounds like I'm saying Kirk. Boring? Did someone say golf? I don't think golf is boring if you're into it. Steenfott Aquatics. Disturbed is that band where it's like, I heard you wanted to be a Nickelback fan, but you like metal. Check out Disturbed. I'm getting angry now. These people are
better add it to your list of banned words.
I do. I have to do it. I have to put Disturbed on there. Wasn't Kurt Cobain? See?
Good.
But he put Kirk.
Finally, we're in agreement. Disturbed should definitely be banned. We finally agree on it.
Shame on you. When we're done, listen to the song Prayer, and then tell me you don't like Disturbed. That wasn't on Rock Band, you Rock Band person. Wasn't Kurt Cobain a basketball player? No. Maybe there was one named that, but Ginger Baker. Ginger Baker's a drummer, and a very good one. I believe he's dead. Does this conversation go to drummers? Is that what it is? Gene Hoglan is an excellent drummer. Okay. Clapton also does well with playing while singing. Separation. The Blind Faith album is the best example. I think Sound of Silence by Disturbed is the best version. All right. Most underrated fish, 55 gallon or less. Okay. Primus sucks. Never a Primus fan. So I'm not going to argue with you there. What is the most underrated fish, 55 gallon or less, Bob?
What? Fish? This is a fish channel? Rainbow fish.
Shocker. Bob says rainbow fish.
Yep.
Oh. That's hard. I could say these absolutely gorgeous Harlequin Rasboras that I'm looking at right here that came from a guy.
Oh, gee, I wonder where you got those.
Yeah, this weirdo sent them to me. They showed up in a box with all this like loose insulation that got all over the place when I opened it up. And
yeah, I'm kind of disappointed the confetti bomb didn't work.
No, they all came in perfect, and they came from Bob, folks. And we have not yet shown them on the channel, and there's no reason for it. It just hasn't fit into one of our videos.
Yep, totally worth it.
But I don't think Harlequin Rasboras are underrated. I mean, because I'm looking at them right now. But maybe like Danios? Because I think people look at Danios as kind of like a disposable fish. I don't think they take them seriously, but I love them.
I think that's an excellent point about the Danios. I have to agree. I think,
wow.
But it's like, I don't know that the 55 gallon part matters at all. Danios are just super underrated. And I don't know if it's because they're so cheap and people just assume that they're just cheap fish. I don't know. But I think Danios are pretty awesome.
The best basis is Les Claypool. Change my mind. I don't think I have a favorite bass player. I mean, Cliff Burton. You know? I mean...
Yeah, the bass is just so easy to play. It doesn't even matter. Anyone can do it.
But Cliff Burton did things with the bass. I mean, the intro to For Whom the Bell Tolls. Come on, nobody was doing that kind of stuff.
Did he play 2 strings at once? Because that would be amazing.
Do you know who Cliff Burton is?
No.
Then
but
stop
if he played,
talking right now.
If he
Just
played
stop
2
talking.
strings at once, that would be something that a bassist has never done before.
If you don't know who Cliff Burton is, then damn you to hell.
4 strings. Pfft, get out of here. That's like I'm not good enough to play a guitar. I got to invent an instrument that doesn't have as many strings.
That's like the Smashing Pumpkins atrocious. Is that how you spell atrocious? I've never seen that spelled out. Smashing Pumpkins is very much an acquired taste, just like AC/DC. And I do like Smashing Pumpkins. Tool is an acquired taste. Yes, they very much are, but I am a huge Tool guy. So don't you do it, Bob. I don't even want to know your opinion on Tool. You keep it to yourself because I don't want to know.
Hey, The Pot is one of my favorite songs ever.
See, for me, it's Stinkfist.
Eyeball Deep in Muddy Water.
Stinkfist is my song. Cliff Burton was the original bass player for Metallica, by the way, who perished in a bus accident, just so you know. I was just making sure you knew, Bob, because apparently you don't know anything about music.
I don't care to know anything about Metallica.
Oh, God. You and I, we would probably fight if you were here now. I mean, you're a big guy, but we would probably fight. Has Corey talked to you about the conversation that him and I had in person, in private, about what you did at the Aquatic Experience last year that you don't even know that you did?
No, I don't know about people's private conversations.
Well, I didn't. It's not like something that's Corey and I didn't talk about it in public, is what I'm saying. And I didn't know if he may have told you that it was not anything bad at all. We'll talk about it once the stream is over, because it's not for. If I said it in public, people would take it the wrong way, and I don't feel like starting any crap. $9.99 from Joseph Rivera. Disturbed's version of Sound of Silence, blasphemy and garbage. Apparently, Joseph Rivera is a big Simon and Garfunkel fan, and I can respect that. But I respectfully disagree, because I happen to love that version of Sound of Silence. The original version is so weird. It's just a weird song. Simon and Garfunkel are weird. There's a lot of drama with Metallica right now. Google it. People are trying to get a piece of them now. When has there ever not been drama with Metallica? I mean, all the way back to the very beginning with Mustaine, and then their bass player dies, and then they get rid of Newsted, and it's just been a nonstop thing, and the whole Napster thing, and James's alcohol problem. It goes on and on and on and on. I'm a Metallica guy, though, so let's not talk about them anymore. Bob, just look at a Billy Squier video. Why? I like Billy Squier. David Coverdale, best musician ever, voice of Deep Purple and Whitesnake. David Coverdale's a good singer.
I was going to say something while you were in your deep pause, your dramatic pause.
Go ahead.
Devil's Fish and Fin says, what species of morph is my tegu? It's 50% Argentine black and white, 37.5% Chacoan, and 12.5% red. That's all.
Okay. So I'm off the David Coverdale thing. I like David Coverdale's voice. Best ever? I could give you probably 20 before I would give David Coverdale. But David Coverdale's a good singer. But there's quite a few that I would put above him. I respect your opinion, though. KG Tropicals, I wasn't mentioning sports. I was guessing why you named your goldfish Pete. Okay, see, now it makes sense. And you're wrong. That is not why I named him Pete. Yes, it's true. Barry Manilow for the win. Love Barry Manilow. I am an unapologetic admirer of Peter McKinnon, and I named my fish after Peter McKinnon. And the reason why is because I was watching one of his videos, and the fish was acclimating in the tank, and I looked over and I'm like, I'm going to name him Pete. Plus, I had an imaginary friend when I was a kid, and his name was Pete. So there it is. That's why I named my fish Pete. Huh?
That explains a lot.
Yeah. Are you a fan of Peter McKinnon, or you're going to be one of those guys that's like, I don't even know who that is?
No, I know who he is. I don't watch his videos though. I don't dislike him. I don't like him.
First thing
I feel like the couple times I watched his videos, I'm like 5 minutes into the video and he hasn't gotten to the title of the video yet. So I'm just like, oh, okay, I'm done.
But see, that is why I love what he does, because I am entertained by that. Like him and Casey are the same way. They could do a video about this vape, and it would be a 12-minute long video, and only 1 minute of the video is dedicated to this vape, but the other 11 minutes are just as entertaining. Really? You're right here. I'm sitting here looking at you. Hung Chow, $5. Bass guitarist no one ever talks about. Brian Ritchie from Violent Femmes. Very minimalist, melodic. Their first album was amazing, driven by the bass. The reason why they probably don't talk about him is because he was the bass player for Violent Femmes. Not that I'm disrespecting them, but they just weren't really a super huge mainstream band. At least in the United States, they weren't. I like Violent Femmes, but that's probably why. So we're going to probably have to start shutting things down, don't you think? We're going on 3 hours here, Bob. This is getting to be out of control.
Wow.
John, you got a few
and you've reached
friends
a
now.
record low with me on here. You're below 200 people now, but I'm not taking credit for that. I'm blaming Disturbed for that and Nickelback. The people have spoken. They have left in droves. We were at over 2,000. We had 2,000 people watching. Then you start talking about Nickelback and Disturbed, and now we're at under 200.
You know, Jason had a lot more people last week than you had. I'm just saying.
Well, he's a way smarter guy than I am. That only makes sense.
He didn't. I can't even think when he does this.
I can't compete with the cat, man. So
I'm going to throw my wallet at him. There you go. I didn't hurt the cat. Come on, folks.
See, I didn't have the cat, or Jason didn't have the cat sabotaging him for 3 hours last week.
Oh, no. The cat was definitely vocal during his, too. It's become a real problem. I did not hit the cat, folks. He's right next to the trash can. I hit the trash can. It scared him, and he ran off. I wouldn't abuse my... You see how much trouble people get for abusing animals? First of all, I wouldn't abuse an animal. And second of all, I certainly wouldn't be dumb enough to do it on YouTube.
That worked.
And you see how well it worked, right? So, all right. Yeah, Jason wasn't mean to me. And I think that's why more people stuck around, because he was very nice and he didn't say mean things.
Well, he's a professional. I'm not. What do you expect?
He didn't say mean things. He was respectful, and he made me feel good about myself. You make me hate myself, and make me question whether I should even continue doing this. This might have been a bad thing.
We both have PhDs, so I don't know what the problem is.
You have a PhD in what? How to be a jerk?
Sure.
You're not a PhD. What are you talking about?
No, I said we both have PhDs. I didn't say I was a PhD.
Well, now I'm confused, so I'm going to need you to explain yourself.
Nope. I'll explain after the stream.
All right. This just got weird. So I heard Bob's hat is permanently stuck to his head. Yeah, it is. Bob does not know how to take that hat off. And I think it would be interesting if he did take it off, because I don't think any of us would recognize him. It'd be fun.
That's the way I like it.
But anyway, I think this is a record for me. I don't think I've ever gone this long. But it's been fun, and I knew it would be. That's why I said, you know what? When Lisa suggested...
Well, I'm glad I could break some kind of record.
Yeah, you broke the length record, but as far as viewers go...
Yeah, I did.
Not so much. The Naked Reefer. How cool of a name is that? Just decided to give $5 just to say great stream. That's awesome. This is what I want to do with this stream, folks. I want to get together and I want to have a conversation. I want to have fun. What Bob and I have been doing is exactly what Bob and I would be doing if we were sitting here face to face without cameras on. We would be talking like this, and it's fun. And
we should do it in person. It'd be way more fun.
Well, I am not bringing all of this to you, and you are not coming here. So how are we going to do that? Let's do it.
Well, I guess I don't get an invite to come there. Never mind.
You can come here anytime.
You just said I'm not. I'm not allowed.
No, well, I mean, I'm just assuming you're not going to do it. You're absolutely allowed. I'm just assuming you're not going to travel all the way across the entire country from one end to another to get here. If you want to do it,
You never know.
you come on.
You never know.
You can be on Thursday if you want to come here. I want to make an announcement when it comes to this here We Need to Talk stream. Because why can't I get to it now? Because I have my next 2 guests lined up. I do not have one for next week. So, Bob, I might be calling you again next week.
That's fine.
So the way I'm going to do this stream for the 200 people that are still watching, most have gotten scared away by Bob's blaspheme. I'm going to, from next week, I'm going to do this again next week. Don't know who my guest is going to be. And then it's going to start every 2 weeks. I'm going to do this stream. And I do not have a guest for next week, but I have guests booked for December 7th and December 21st. December 7th, I mean, it really does sound like the cat is being abused. And we hear this.
Are you going to tell us who these people are?
We hear this all day. December 7th is going to be Lucas Bretz, which I'm super excited about. That was confirmed last night. And then December 21st is going to be my Christmas present to all of you. And that is...
You're not going to stream?
The appearance for the first time on a live stream by the one and only Candy Overhauls. She is going to be my guest on December 21st. That is my Christmas present to all of you. Not you, Bob. You're not allowed to be on here for that. It's going to be a big deal. She is nervous because she doesn't like being on camera. But I am thrilled that she said that she would do that for me. So I'm excited about that. For us, not just me. Next week, not sure who it's going to be, but I'm sure I'll find somebody and we'll have a good time. But that's what I want to do with this is I want to have a relaxed, easygoing, fun live stream. And I just have to get this beeping to go away. That's all I got to do. Got to figure out how to do that. So there we go. So we're going to sign off. Bob, you want to have the last word?
Nope.
Such a good guest. I love having you on. It's a lot of fun. You know, maybe I should just have you on every stream. You can just be there. You can be my Robin. How about that? And I don't mean my Batman and Robin. I mean my Robin Quivers. So yeah. December 7th, Lucas Bretz. December 21st.
Wait, okay, so I do have a question though before we go.
Okay.
Who canceled on you tonight?
Nobody.
Mm.
No, I swear I was not going to stream tonight. I was going to do next week because last week I was going to do it every 2 weeks, starting from the very beginning. But I just decided yesterday. I'll explain it to you after we go private. I'll explain the conversation that Lisa and I had yesterday. And I just said, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to stream tomorrow and it's going to be fun. Who should I get? Should I get Bob or should I get blah, 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 blah? And Lisa said, Bob. And I said, good. He has no life. He'll be available. So
It's true.
That's because that's what you told me. So, so that's it. Nobody canceled. I promise nobody canceled. As far as next week goes, I don't know who it's going to be. I asked Lucas if he wanted next week. He's actually going to be at Ohio Fish Rescue next week. So I said, okay, how about the next one? So
What is the? I don't even know the date next week because I have no life. Never mind, doesn't matter.
That would be the 23rd. And Corey's out of the country, so not going to be able to have him. But so yeah, Corey will probably be like January before he comes on. So we'll find somebody for next week and we'll have a good time. This is what I want this stream to be, is just a relaxed, easygoing, talk without such horrible things being said about some of my favorite bands. That's all.
We'll pick better bands and that won't happen.
But we will never talk about politics. We will never talk about religion. We're not going to talk about things like that. But we're going to have fun. We'll talk
Hallelujah.
about things. That's right. So there it is. Since you refuse to do what I usually like to have my guests do, which is to you be the one that signs us off, apparently you won't do that because you are a jerk. So I will say goodbye.
I'm the guest. Why do I got to do it?
In all seriousness, you've been on here for 3 hours. I had you a half an hour before that. We're probably going to go for another half an hour after this. It's been a lot of fun. I do appreciate your time. Thank you for coming on. It was a great time.
And thank you for having me, of course.
Not a problem. So thank you all so much for watching for 3 hours. And I will see you Thursday with Lisa and no echo.